And we are a go. Now we just wait for the people. We await the folks. Okay, my phone says 4 watching now, but my streaming service says 0 watching now, so I am very confused. All right, let me put the word out there. There we go. For everyone watching later, I apologize for the slow start, but that's just the nature of live streams, isn't it? Here's people. People in the chat finally showing up. I did not pre-order the child Baby Yoda from Shop Disney, but I'm sure I will acquire one eventually when that's a financial priority. All right, let me put the word out there to the world that we are doing things tonight. How is everybody doing? Let's start with that. How are you all? Are you all staying safe? Are you all feeling as healthy as can be expected? Because I'm staying safe, but I am also getting over what we believe is some sort of a cold. But we are trusting that that's all it is. I've been being careful. I've been being safe. I went and got checked out. I didn't get the test, but they said it wasn't like my symptoms didn't warrant the real testing. So let's hope that that continues to be true. Other than that, yeah, I think we're all going a little insane. And that is just the way life goes. Nobody likes it, but here we are. So, I suppose you're wondering why I've called you all here this evening. And, well, basically, I decided to program an evening of making fun of simpler times, basically. The fact is, we all know we can't go to theme parks right now. So let's go to theme parks in 2001. What we are going to do tonight is get together and have fun with the beloved DCA opening special. I have no idea if parks will be open by June, Ryan, but it is anybody's guess at this point. Purely speculative. I think there's a chance, but I think it'll be open with restrictions if it is. Like, I think California has a shot of opening before the rest of the nation. Yes, Tony, your theory about July 17th was fantastic. I think that theory makes a lot of sense. But I do think that there's a chance that California will be ready before other states. And I think there's a chance that California will reopen, but anyone coming into California will get their temperature checked the way they just currently ask if you have fruit or anything in your car. So we'll see. But in the meantime, since we can't predict the future, we can look at the past. And of course, some of you may have seen this entire special, and I'm sure all of you have at least seen clips of it, as Tony used quite a few in his famous DCA video, which was the next recommended video when I pulled this one up. So that makes a lot of sense. But for anyone who hasn't seen this whole thing, this was the special they made to promote California Adventure when it opened. And it is interesting, and it has some moments I genuinely like, and a lot that's kind of garbage. And people have asked if we would riff this after we riffed the Disneyland opening day special. And the truth of the matter is, we talked about it. We came to the conclusion that it has too much humor in it already, even though most of the humor is not particularly successful. It doesn't take itself seriously enough to really be worthy of a full riff. But that's why I thought we could do a more casual, watch it together and toss jokes out that doesn't have the structure of a scripted riff, and we can just sort of discuss as we go along. So let's get this started and hope it doesn't spend too much time buffering. We're off to a great start.
Get a sneak peek at Disney's newest theme park.
Disney's California Adventure.
There's the men themselves.
Right next to Disneyland in California.
Right next door to Disneyland.
Disneyland.
Located right next door to
Okay, we're doing this at a
Disneyland and
lower frame, or at a lower resolution, just because it's taped off of TV anyway. The resolution does not matter that much, and whatever gets it to buffer faster. So this little intro here, it's also clear that they were all given the same
Beaches.
copy
Hollywood
to
sets.
read.
The Golden Gate Bridge.
Mountains.
Majestic,
Beaches.
sandy,
Hollywood sets.
glamorous,
The Golden Gate Bridge.
rusty, and oranges.
I'm pretty sure
It's
Richard
all
Kind was
California.
ad-libbing
And
all of that
California,
stuff.
One incredible state.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
For Disney's California Adventure?
I think it has something to do with California.
Hollywood sex, yes.
Am I wrong?
Welcome to our very special
It's also
look
fascinating
inside
that,
Disney's newest theme park.
I'm gonna let it buffer a little longer. It's fascinating that Brad Sherwood was who they paired with Colin for this instead of Ryan, because obviously it's true, Mariah. Richard Kind needs to end everything with girl talk. There is a lot of bringing up that he played Molt in this special, so that is a recurring thing. But I actually saw Colin and Brad live when they were doing a college tour my freshman year of college, and they were pretty impressive live. It was a lot of fun, but of course that was them doing a short form improv show, which is not the same thing as doing a cross-promotional special. Yeah, it's very weird, Ryan, that they didn't just start with the Eisner clip when clearly they shot the entire thing. They shot that entire copy with Eisner, so it's weird that they didn't just use that. But I think they really wanted to promote, hey, your favorite ABC stars are going to be in this thing. So, you know, we got the Spin City people who said, okay. Obviously, the rest of the Spin City cast was not available. I legitimately don't remember what year Michael J. Fox left Spin City. But Charlie Sheen in this would have been interestingly batshit. Yes, Tony, we did miss out on a good old-fashioned Eisner hello. Was Barry Bostwick nice to you when you met him at GalaxyCon? I don't know that I would call Patrick Warburton the only park-exclusive character. Well, to show up in a DCA special, okay. But in the Epcot opening special, some park-exclusive characters show up. So this is all possible. Hey, Chandler. All right, let's see if we can get a little further in this.
Disney's California Adventure, right next to Disneyland in California. Joining us tonight are Spin City's
And here's all the footage we'll
Barry
be seeing
Bostwick
later.
and Richard Kind. From Whose Line Is It Anyway? Colin Mockery and Brad Sherwood. From The Emperor's New Groove, Patrick Warburton
From that animated movie
From
that
General
everybody
Hospital in
loves,
Port
but
Charles.
even though it flopped.
Jackie Zeman, Nancy Lee Grahn, John Ingle, Aaron Hershey, and Kiko Ellsworth. And a special appearance by
Soap opera stars are
the
always
director of
timeless
the Toy Story
people.
films and A Bug's Life,
And frickin' Lasseter.
John
We're gonna have to put up
Lasseter.
with a little of him later.
And now, Disney's California
Okay,
Adventure.
if things don't get a little better on the buffering, I may have to move to a different room that's closer to the Wi-Fi router. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised because obviously Al has done some theme park promotion, obviously a little bit, but and he's done promotion for other things shot at theme parks. You got your bug eyes, Charlie? Those are collector's items, except the thing's still open in Florida. I know that this year at Scary Farm, before they settled on Puppet Up, that's not settling. The Henson Company is great, obviously, but before they landed on Puppet Up, Knott's reached out to Al to do a residency at Scary Farm. But he had just come off of Strings Attached, and I think he just wanted to rest and not do 3 shows a night until 1 a.m. in October. But that would have been a lot of fun if Weird Al had done a residency at Not Scary Farm. They reached out to him. They wanted Al to be their new Elvira, I guess. But, you know, getting a bunch of Henson puppeteers was also not a bad fit. It's also... Obviously, Al would have been great for a Scary Farm residency. I don't know if Al is really as good a fit for Halloween theme park comedy, as good a fit as they thought he was, considering his show is a lot more family friendly than any other Halloween theme park comedy. Yeah, I have to imagine the main reason he turned them down was just the timing, because it was, you know, coming right off the Strings Attached tour. I'm sure he absolutely wanted a break. Let's see if this is going to play at all. There we go. I'm not going to say anything to jinx it. Look at that opening year entry plaza. And these celebrities who think they could just drive anywhere.
Here we are. I remember where we're parked.
I guess it's section C.
I wonder why the big cheese wants to meet with us today.
I have no idea.
Sir, you cannot park your car here.
He's right. No cars.
Oh, no, you don't understand. This is Barry
You don't understand.
Oscar.
We're
No,
famous.
this is Richard Kind, and we're here because we have an appointment with Mr. Eisner.
Oh, the big cheese.
El Grande Queso. Le Grand Fromage. I'll get on the horn. See if I...
No need.
Yeah, there
I
are
got
a
it
few jokes in
right
the
here.
special that kind of work.
8:21 a.m. Michael starts reviewing the Disney California Adventure. He is now finishing his last sip of coffee and heading to the Golden Dreams Theater. It would be our pleasure to escort you gentlemen directly to him.
Yes, follow me.
They thought that because it was their only dark ride opening year. Look at that beautiful, terrible, ugly sun thing. Especially like just right next to Grizzly Peak. Like it's such a night and day contrast because Grizzly Peak is still beautiful. I didn't hate the Golden Gate Bridge, monorail bridge, but it was just the tackiest version of it.
Well, you got quite a little park here.
Whoa, 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 whoa. This is hardly a little park, Mr. Boswick. Disney's California Adventure covers 55 acres and has 22 rides, shows, and attractions.
Each one is different.
In fact, it's the same size and has an equal amount of attractions as did Disneyland when it opened in 1955.
Only
Yeah,
different.
but when Disneyland opened, it sucked.
It has three themed lands: Hollywood Pictures Backlot, Golden State, and Paradise Pier.
And each one is different.
Well,
Here's the other thing, is they cast Colin and Brad as the very by-the-book characters who by nature can't ad-lib that much because they have to be very rigid and doling out facts. And I honestly think Richard and Barry would have been better cast as the security guards than Colin and Brad are. But I don't know. I didn't cast the damn thing.
of course, each one is different.
Very different.
Highlights of the park include a one.
Oh, what are you doing now, stream?
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help.
Great, we got an ad
This
break.
sentence is grammatically correct.
Nobody cares, Grammarly.
120-foot high Wonder Wheel.
And here's the shitty-ass parade from the opening year.
You are so invited.
You are
Like
so
the ocean, so
invited.
invited to the shore. I am so excited to be everything your
I realize
heart
it's unfair to
can
make fun of DCA for being small because,
do. You were
like,
headed my
it was the
way.
only
And
space
there's
they
a
had.
beautiful
Sure,
granite
but
mountain peak
Shaped like a bear.
at Grizzly Bear. It's the California state animal, you know.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, you gentlemen will have a perfect view of.
Hey, where'd they go?
so for those of you just joining
Go
us,
that
Richard
way.
Kind and
I'll go
Barry
there.
Bostwick were so distracted by the
And
wonder
don't
of that
you go away.
parade
We're going to see
that
if our
the security guards lost
can
them.
find stars Barry and Richard on the Hollywood Pictures backlot without a map to the stars' homes. Right after this. Welcome back to Disney's
They didn't get a
California
map for the Stars Home from
Adventure.
Drew Carey?
Let's see if our security guards can find Barry and Richard loose on the Hollywood Pictures backlot.
This is security 2. We have a situation.
I think we got that ad break because that song from the parade is
Two
still available
VIPs
on
have eluded their
iTunes.
security escort and are roaming freely through the park. Repeat, roaming freely through the park.
The 1401.
Celebrities roaming freely
What's your
is
20?
the worst possible thing that can happen.
I'm at the back end of the California Zephyr. What's your 20?
Yes, the narrator is Corey Burton.
I'm at the back end.
he's
of
not given
the
much to do.
California Zephyr.
Also, they say that the celebrities
You
escaping is a
knucklehead.
code 1401, which is, of course, an Imagineering reference.
By now.
There they are. They're heading towards the Hollywood Pictures backlot.
I should have known. Actors.
Actually, you don't see Superstar Limo in this special. I don't know if it just wasn't ready yet by the time they had to film this, or if somebody doing the special knew that it would scare people away. But there's no Superstar Limo in this special, and it's wild.
Disney animation.
Disney animation. The heart and soul of Disney.
Let's sneak in.
Barry, I think they'll just let us in.
Come on, I want to sneak. Come on.
All right, let's sneak. Let's sneak.
Barry Bostwick insists on sneaking into the animation. Still one of the best places to be in DCA.
Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, look at Bambi.
Quick, let's pad the special with just footage from movies.
That always had the kids in tears.
Yes, we are promoting our wonderful
Bambi,
theme park
run!
by showing you that if you
Man
come here,
is the
you can watch Bambi's mom get shot.
enemy.
Fire hose.
Oh, right, and fire. Fire and man.
Excuse me, sir. Are you okay?
Oh, no. We're fine. Fine.
Yeah, but his mother.
You
I'm
see,
sorry. I'm sorry.
I mean, I guess
Actually,
today, if you go down there, you can
meeting
still
with
see
Mr.
Carl
Eisner.
mourning his wife from the beginning of Up.
Oh, well, Michael isn't here right now. He's out getting a car towed from letter C.
Michael Eisner is personally getting their car towed because
As
that's
long as you're
just
here, would you like a look around?
how
Oh yeah, we love that.
hands-on Eisner was.
That'd be great. Oh, yeah, because I used to be in animation myself. I was the voice of Molt, Hopper's brother in A Bug's Life. Come on.
Oh yeah, I
Well,
think
you certainly are very...
I think the entrance to Turtle Talk is
Animated.
still Finding Dory themed.
Yes, I've heard that.
And here's the worst promo for the thing that I wish I could have experienced.
Pass the gun in here. I'll stay outside, keep my eyes peeled, you check inside.
Check.
Yeah, this is the part where we just spend time with soap opera stars, who of course just hung
Mr.
out at the
Chandler.
attraction based on
And
their.
she said, from all my children. And Kelly's from
How you
General
doing, Ianone?
Hospital.
It's been a while.
It's One Life to Live's Landview Country Club. Oh, looks like someone else is getting married. I wonder who it is this time.
It's
Bobby
also
Spencer.
okay. It's such a played out joke. Like it's such an
That's very
old
sweet of
comedy
you, but
trope
I'm not
that
Bobby Spencer.
the person is so
You may
obsessed
be able to fool
with soap
Scott
operas
and Laura,
that they get
and
the
maybe even
actors
more, but you
mixed up
can't
with
fool me, Bobby Spencer.
with their characters and think it's real.
You sure are. Like when you fooled everybody into
On top of the
thinking you
played
were
up joke
having a
that
baby.
like, oh,
See, I'm not really Bobby
the
Spencer.
allegedly manly,
I just
cop
married Bobby
character
Spencer on TV.
is obsessed with his stories.
In real life, this is real life.
Okay,
This
see,
is
here's the
Jackie
thing.
Seaman.
Oh, so she has a secret identity.
The actual
You know, does she?
soap opera
Well, I guess you
bistro
would
had
know a thing about
improv
that, too.
actors doing
Well,
melodramatic
sure.
soap opera scenes all around.
Actually, my name is
Um,
Nancy Lee Grant.
So when you went here for real, there would be improv actors all around who would just dramatically act out like audience participation, spoof soap opera scenes. So it was basically making fun of the thing that this special is doing earnestly. And like, yeah, soap opera parody, whatever, but to have it actually happening all around you, like with top-notch improv actors, like all the Super Ego guys, Matt Gorley, Mark McConville, Jeremy Carter, they all were in the cast. Aaron Hayes from Children's Hospital was in the cast. Like, it was top-notch improv, and I never got to experience it in person because the one time we were there opening year, why would that be the place we wanted to go? And yeah, now that's where the Disney Junior Dance Party is. And so it's a waste.
Nancy now, is it? First it was Alexis.
So
Then it was Natasha. Then it was Eddie's Angel, and now it's Nancy.
you're not wrong, Chandler.
Look, it's nice to know.
Gorley talked on one of his podcasts about how they were supposed to be open for lunch and dinner, and demand would be so low for the restaurant that they'd get there for the lunch shift, and the manager would just tell them, so we're not opening for lunch, so just go ride rides and shit. So
it's useless to try to convince you that I am an actor. I am John Ingle, and I just play the role of Edward Quartermain.
John Engel, you look like you have better things to do than be here.
Jackie! Turn back before it's too
Good,
late.
more soap opera stars we don't remember.
Port Charles' hottest romantic couple. Well, I guess I'll have to watch my back now, since there's always trouble around you two.
You're a little mixed.
I would definitely rather be watching Disney Junior Dance Party than this scene.
Misunderstood. You see, I'm Kiko Ellsworth, and we just kind of came here to eat.
Miss Allison Barrington, a blue blood like you must have some regrets about all the trouble you've caused.
Well, I absolutely
You know as well
do.
as I would.
So you admit it.
Look, sir, I'm Erin Hershey, okay?
The other thing is, like, nowadays just all TV is soap opera. Like, even prestige drama
Just wish I would've come
is
here sooner.
just
He looks
well-written
fabulous.
soap opera, so,
Miss
you know.
Seaman, Miss Cron, Mr. Engel, Mr. Ellsworth, Miss Hershey, I am so sorry. I've called security.
Oh, good. I need help apprehending these suspects.
You are security. I don't... Also, this shot is the only promotion Muppet Vision gets in this special. Just this little shot of Muppet Vision over Colin's shoulder, so... Way to not promote the really good thing.
Where's the problem? Bobby Spencer!
Wah, 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 wah.
You'll be amazed as Barry and Richard reveal some of Disney Animation's best-kept secrets right after this.
So yeah, that
Welcome back
scene
to
is garbage.
Disney's California Adventure. Let's now follow Barry and Richard into the magical world of Disney Animation.
Do we need you to explain this to us, Corey Burton? Yeah, this was back when there was a presentation on that stage and not just how to draw characters.
Excuse me, George.
Hey, Barry Bostwick and Richard Kind. This is an honor.
Please, it's really your honor. Are you seeing how goofy personally, huh?
We're the best of friends. Would you like to meet him?
Okay,
Yeah. Could we? Yeah, absolutely.
here's something I need to bring up.
You guys ready? Yeah. Here we go.
So this animation here is recycled from The Reluctant Dragon.
1 second of animation.
No, they never actually animated anything in
By
this
the length of
building.
An entire feature film. You end up
So
with
yeah,
hundreds of thousands of drawings.
that little goofy sequence is left over. Oh, congratulations, Charlie. So yeah, that little bit of animation is recycled from The Reluctant Dragon when they're showing Robert Benchley how they animate Goofy. And seeing that made me realize this entire special is kind of a remake of The Reluctant Dragon. Because it is about a celebrity who's supposed to meet the boss and is just trying to evade annoying security guards the whole time. That's... This is a... This is an inferior Reluctant Dragon remake. It's so weird. The difference is Reluctant Dragon was promoting all of Disney animation and showing how it worked, and this was promoting a very bad park that on opening day. Anyway, let's get back to the even more Reluctant Dragon.
Hey, listen, George. I know all the Disney characters. I don't know who these guys are. Who are they?
Those are.
You can also tell George is an actual cast member
I know Mushu.
animator
I said
because
Mushu.
he's
Not Mushu.
the most underacting of all these performers.
Dragon, not lizard. I don't do that tongue thing.
Oh, sorry. Reptilian slur.
You see, Mushu went through a lot of design changes before he became the dragon we all know.
Like, this guy was not coached for
He
camera.
didn't look anything like he does now.
Bless his heart.
So if you'd been around Richard, Mushu might have ended up looking, well, something like this.
Hey, that's me.
What kind of
And
bad, so freaky looking thing is that?
yeah, they draw Richard Kind as a dragon, just like they draw Robert Benchley as an elephant in The Reluctant Dragon.
Hey!
It's a secret Reluctant Dragon remake.
We should get back to work.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Nice to meet you guys.
Yes, Richard Kind said that lizard is a reptilian slur. Okay, we get this shot of the magic mirror room, the Sorcerer's Workshop room. But the only room in this they actually show is the Beast Library. The only demonstration they actually show is Beast Library, which is annoying because I need footage of Ursula's Grotto. Preferably some sort of official footage, and I haven't been able to find any.
Now that we know what kind of character Richard is, let's see what kind of character you are, Barry.
Oh, this is. Well, I sort of feel like I'm a cross between Prince Charming and. Well, what do I have to do here?
Just have a seat. The enchanted book will do the rest.
Oh. Well, you also got to push buttons.
Just touch the bookmark.
Enchanté. It is with the greatest pleasure that we will now show you which Disney character is most like you. You are a person who lives for action, excitement, and the company of others.
He didn't even take the quiz. Lumiere's just looking into his soul.
Especially to yourself, of both Beauty and the Beast. You are most like Gaston from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, now this is uncanny. Because I use antlers in all my decorating.
Barry Bostwick is weirdly proud to be Gaston.
Oh, what am I doing?
He's used to being an asshole.
Come on, come on, come on. And let's have some more fun.
No, okay, one more thing.
No. Three more things.
Barry, two more things. That's it.
No.
I do kind of like that bit of them negotiating how many more things they're going to do before they see Eisner. Yeah, Haley, the theming of the Beast Library is incredible.
There they are.
I'll take the front.
I'll cut around back.
And here's where Brad Sherwood Wile E. Coyotes himself.
Gets him every time. Trick of the trade, called forced perspective.
My partner keeps forgetting that we're on the Hollywood Pictures backlot. Come on, get up.
The difference between this and Reluctant Dragon is in Reluctant Dragon, I actually understood why the security guard was so annoying that Robert Benchley was desperate to avoid him. Here, they're just monotone. Like, they're not that obnoxious. Oh, Taste Pilots. Which had Airline Amy on the playlist, so that was your Weird Al in this park.
Another thing, it's always another thing with you. Those two guys could have taken us to see Mr. Eisner.
Come on, let's look around here first.
What is this place?
They also, like, they could have played up this dynamic more where Richard Kind actually just wants to get on with it, but...
The Daredevils and Dreamers of California.
So yeah, here's Patrick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Test pilots blasting through the atmosphere at Mach speed. Supersonic jets performing death-defying feats. Higher, faster, further.
Barry Bostwick at least looks like he's having fun.
Well, if you'll just follow me to the jetway, you don't want to miss your flight.
Our flight? No. We have an appointment.
We're not going to have a problem here, are we? Didn't think so.
So yeah, Patrick Warburton. The only person in this playing the role they play in the park in the
I had
special.
no idea so many airplanes were designed here in California. Well, I hate to brag. I say I hate to brag. More aviation history happened here in California than
I kind of like that bit.
anywhere else.
I hate to brag. I say I hate to brag.
Here's the little beauty that started it all.
The Gold Glider, 1883, the first successful glider flight in the U.S.
Oh, look, and isn't that the spirit?
The spirit of St. Louis?
St. Louis, famous Californian city.
Built right here in California. Charles Lindbergh flew solo across the Atlantic in that tough old bird.
And here's the F-104
Barry Bostwick does seem like he's having fun in this. Richard Kind seems like he's trying to have fun.
Then there's the SR-71 Blackbird. That little baby could fly from New York to London in 2 hours.
I like basically all the people in this special, and they deserved a better script.
I know what you're thinking. Fantastic flying machines. Right? Well, so is the one that will be taking you soaring over California.
Soaring over California.
Soaring
Let's fly.
over California.
From Los Angeles to San Francisco and all points in between.
Whoa. We don't have time to visit all those places. See, we have an appointment with Disney's Big Cheese. Maybe we could just stop by some of the beach communities.
Richard Kind, do you not know how theme park rides work?
I don't think the Big Cheese would want you to miss this flight.
I don't particularly miss the Condor Flats aesthetic, but there were cool things about it.
Man, this is fantastic.
Those security guards will never find us up here.
Why do you care so much, Barry Bostwick? Why do you care if the security guards find you or not? Also, I don't believe they show you the part where the ride just shows you Disneyland because they don't want you to be reminded that there's a better park right next door. Except for at the beginning of the special where they keep saying, right next to Disneyland. Now, if they actually blew snow at you, Soarin' might be a less pleasant
Security
experience.
guards are hot on the trail of Barry and Richard, but look what's in store for them, as it's man against nature. Coming up.
It's man against nature. Really trying to make this seem exciting.
Welcome back. Let's follow Brad and Colin along the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail in the Golden State area of Disney's California Adventure.
Here's just a bunch of shots of Redwood Creek. It's still Disneyland Park, it ends with, in California. And the place you can walk through the middle of a tree.
Whoa, big fella. Let's check in here.
Maybe there'll be a funny scene in here, but probably not.
Excuse us, Ranger. We're looking for Barry Bostwick and Richard Kind.
Have you seen him?
No, but you might try our lookout tower.
Good idea. Where is it?
Just follow the trail. It's a challenge.
Following maps is a challenge. Yes, add Brad and Colin to Villains Row. Let's just watch them play on the fucking thing. I will give Redwood Creek Challenge Trail credit for basically being Tom Sawyer's Island without the wait time.
Okay, mister?
Yeah. Thanks, kid.
Here's the thing, Tony. It probably wasn't hard for Colin and Brad to come up with shtick at Disney parks. They were probably just way more limited in the kind of shtick they were allowed to come up with.
How'd you get here so fast?
Took the stairs.
Wah, wah.
Sorry, Ranger. Need your binoculars. Official business.
Code 1401?
Precisely.
Whoever, like, the writers of this, like, the fact that they put 1401 as the Imagineering in joke, like, somebody cared about something. Somebody liked Disney who made this, but...
They're heading for Grizzly River. Come on.
Grizzly River Run, the other okay ride from opening year. $14.01. That's us. And again, just glamour shots of the couple of not ugly places in opening here, DCA.
Tell me, are these old buildings?
Is Grizzly River on the only opening year ride left? I think that depends on if you count re-themes to be different rides or not.
Any gold left? No, just plenty of white
Because
water.
most of Pixar Pier is unchanged from Paradise Pier, but they did repaint and rename a lot of things. Actually, I think Jumping Jellyfish and Golden Zephyr are, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Class 5 rivers.
The chat beat me to it.
From the Cascades
It should be,
to Sierra
the stream should be archived later as far as I know.
Rolled, snagged, drenched, and pounded.
Haley, from what I'm told, the problem is most of California's Country Bear animatronics have already been reused elsewhere.
Excuse me. Get wet on this ride?
Like Oogie Boogie in Mansion Holiday is Big Al. So they could do it, they just need to rebuild the animatronics. Also, that was a slightly amusing joke in the special where Barry Bostwick talks about how brave he is, and then Richard Kind asks, "Are we going to get wet?" And he says, "Yeah, that's a good question." Grizzly River Run is decent. It's... Boogie is Big Al.
Perfect. We'll head them off here.
They're all washed up now.
They probably could, like, you don't really need very detailed animatronics for a raft ride because everything moves so quickly. Like, they could just put statues of the Country Bears on, and it would be not worse than Incredicoaster.
And if that isn't exciting enough, watch as Barry and Richard are attacked by bugs.
If that wasn't exciting enough, and it wasn't.
It's all coming up right after this.
Welcome
back.
Max, I would say I like Calico River Rapids a little more, but I think Grizzly River Run has the better river track. But I enjoy the experience overall more on Calico River Rapids. Yeah, but buckle down. Content warning, we got Lassiter coming up. Yeah, in a scene where people get attacked by bugs. This will never be bulldozed and turned into Cars Land. Nope. I have always found the Flick meet and greet costume unsettling.
Excuse me. We're looking for the big cheese.
Oh, you've come to the right place. California's the top producer in more than 350 different varieties of farm products, including cheese.
Again, Bountiful Valley Farm has done so much better just at the LA County Fair.
This is security 2. 2 VIPs have eluded.
Oh no, there's 2 security guards. We gotta hide. Where can we hide?
Underground.
Underground?
Yeah, follow the path there.
Also, this cast member is very eager to help them hide from security.
Voice. Weren't you in A Bug's Life?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I was.
Oh, you were great.
Thank you. What was your favorite scene, I'm wondering?
In the cave. Well, you get the cheese at Flo's that on a cheeseburger. That's the tribute.
She was right. We are underground.
Something about this place bugs me.
Great puns there. A+ work. I do miss that Hopper animatronic.
Since we did A Bug's Life, but you look wonderful. You look wonderful. I mean, you've lost some weight. Your exoskeleton's fallen right off you. And I heard your agent.
Okay, so we got to break this down for a second. Richard Kind is very nervous about Hopper being there. And he says, I haven't seen you since we did A Bug's Life, which means that in the reality of this special, Hopper played himself in A Bug's Life. Richard Kind played his brother. And so within the reality of the special, Hopper is real and played himself. But soap opera stars are not real. So soap opera characters are not real. Soap opera stars are just actors. But Hopper is real, but Molt is not. So the layers of reality in this special are enough to give one an existential crisis. Yeah, at least in this world, Kevin Spacey might not exist. So we got that, but unfortunately, Lassiter still does. So
But you look great.
one creep down, but one
So
still
good. I mean, and success.
in the
You
problem.
wear it well. You know this bug? Oh, you Hopper? Yeah.
No, in the attraction, Andrew Stanton did the voice of Hopper, but according to this, in the movie, Hopper played himself.
Loser. Out of my sight. We're leaving right now. Come on.
Great cut.
You don't say cut after a live performance, John. You should know that as a creepy director.
David, get the lights. Get the lights. It's me, John. John. That's John Lasseter from Pixar. He created Toy Story and A Bug's Life. He was my director. And
Richard was great as Molt. I mean, you really took that nothing little scene, remember? And you made it your... He was amazing.
I heard.
Zether, I will go on whenever they ask me to.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm a big fan.
Oh,
So yeah,
Hey, guys,
let's
welcome to A Bug's Life Theater. Huh?
let's just bear through the Lassiter part.
Especially talking ones. Oh, they're fine once you get to know them. So, John, what is all?
Yeah, just have Andrew Stanton replace all the
David
creeps.
and I are putting the finishing touches on Hopper's performance for the show. It's tough to be a bug.
Oh, David. Hopper looks better than ever.
Thanks, Jiminy. You scared the living crickets out of me. It's my job.
Hey, let's show them the rest of it.
Oh, great.
And this is the part of the
In order to see
special.
show, you have to be a bug.
I have to be a bug?
You have to
An
be a bug.
honorary bug. By wearing these bug eyes.
Oh.
So yeah, this is the part of the special where they just show us clips from the 3D movie, not in 3D. Also, here Lassiter is putting the finishing touches on the show, which has already existed at Animal Kingdom for a while, so... Shoulder high waist. We're getting an ad because this song is also on iTunes. So I'm just going to keep talking over it so I don't get slammed with too much. I'll probably get monetization claim, but that's okay because I'm not monetized anyway. I can go get my 3D glasses and prove that this is not in 3D.
Hello. This is my friend Chili.
And yes,
What does he do?
they started with the
What's his
finale
skills at his
of It's Tough to Be a Bug, and now they're just showing the other sequences.
This part's one of my favorites.
Oh!
Ouch.
And this little guy?
This is a termitator. He sprays acid at
The
his
Termitator, voiced by French Stewart, but he's basically doing Wally Cox. Look at these effects just jump off the screen at you. Doesn't that make you want to go to this park the way just like things move slightly closer to the camera?
Oh, who's that? She's cute as a bug.
That's Claire de Room.
Claire de Rome.
Yeah, the stink bug.
Oh, no. Don't tell me she's gonna... Who's gonna blow?
Oh, boy.
Look at all these 3D effects in magical 2D.
Well, occasionally we do have to clear the room.
John, I want to see it again. I want to see it again. No. We don't have time. Hey, have you seen Michael Eisner around?
Michael? Yeah, he was just here.
Oh, no kidding. You know the quickest way out of here?
The quickest?
The quickest.
The quickest way out.
Do you want the quickest?
And here's Lassiter being extra creepy. At least he wasn't locking them in Matt Lauer style, I guess.
Guards won't
But
be able to track anyone down as Barry and Richard's screams get lost in the excitement of
oh, Maliboomer, you were redundant when Tower of Terror opened, weren't you? I don't know what was uglier, Paradise Pier 1.0 or the Entry Plaza 1.0, but it was neck and neck. We got Pizza Ooh Mau Mau in there. I gotta show that off. You're right, Tony. They weren't redundant at all, and I feel very dumb for ever saying that. Maliboomer straight up designed to have you see outside the borders of the park because that's what Walt always wanted.
If my instincts are right, and they usually are, I suspect we'll find Mr. Bostwick and kind at the Paradise Pier.
How can you be so sure?
Because it's the only place we haven't looked yet.
And they couldn't possibly have moved in the time you were looking elsewhere. I never went on Maliboomer either, but I've been on Supreme Scream, and you know. They don't spend a lot of time on Sunwheel on this special. And again, some of it I don't know what they just opted not to show, and some of it I don't know what wasn't ready to show.
Negative on Orange Stinger.
Yeah, my theory is Superstar Limo was not ready yet, because clearly they weren't embarrassed by it yet, because they still had all the merch for it. But,
The Sunwheel appears to be clear.
I feel like it just wasn't ready when they shot this. But they're still acting like the park's already open, but also not open at the same time, because they have Lassiter still putting the finishing touches on attractions before they open. I'm so confusing. Oh yeah, Burger Invasion. Remember when you could get McDonald's food all over the Disney parks?
Security one to...
Tony, I'm usually wondering if I'm still alive.
There they are. Right there, behind you.
And he dropped either his binoculars or his walkie-talkie.
They're going to California screaming. They're going to California screaming.
California Screamin'. An okay roller coaster. At least it doesn't get actively uncomfortable until the bunny hops at the end. And I believe this also gets copyright flagged, the use of the Screamin' song, so I'm just going to keep babbling to stop that from happening. Or, you know, maybe the buffering will do my job for me.
Tell you what's next. It's late. I gotta find a place to sit down. I mean, Barry, we've done so many wonderful things.
Each one more fun than the last.
Yes, they are, but the thing is, it's so
They're desperately trying to act like everything in this park was fun and exciting.
Excuse me. Do you know where the cheese is? We're looking for the cheese.
Excuse me?
Tony, I'm glad you think the bunny hops are good, but they make me just a little nauseous each time.
We're looking for Mr. Eisner.
Isn't that what I said? No.
Well, you won't find him here. I just heard on the radio that he's over at downtown Disney.
Oh, please let it be close.
It's just outside the park.
Great. Well,
Just outside the park, even though you're in the very back corner of the park, so you'll have to do more walking than you've done all day to get there.
See, that's what I love about this place. It's very accommodating. You need some place to go, boom, they send you a shuttle.
Also, they are entering through the exit, but, you know, what's here or there.
Shuttle. Oh, please, Barry. What else?
Neil Patrick Harris wasn't there yet. Maybe D. Bradley Baker knew where the cheese was. Eisner lives inside all of us. This whole... Well, I mean, the Grand Californian entrance, but then you still got to walk through. It's still, like, compared to that being... Like, Richard Kind asks, please let it be close, and she says just outside the park. And I feel like by his standards, close meant within the park. The Downtown Disney Ordeal. Yeah. Oh no, it's not as bad as the coasters at Magic Mountain by any means. It's just the hills at the end make me a little nauseous. Right there, these hills. I like Grand California's entrance, but it was a lot easier to deal with before they had security at the Grand Californian downtown Disney border as well. X2 is the worst.
Well, well, well. Look who we have here.
You guys had enough?
Nope.
So they're acquired by the guards.
In that case, we will now lead you to Mr. Eisner. And just to make sure you
Which,
don't get
seeing
lost
Eisner
again,
was their goal the whole time.
I shall lead.
The stakes are meaningless.
And I shall follow.
It's just a Reluctant Dragon remake that makes less sense than the Reluctant Dragon. Because at least in the Reluctant Dragon, Robert Benchley did not want to meet with Walt in the first place.
I think it's fantastic.
Mr. Eisner?
Oh, hi, Michael.
Oh, certainly, Mr. Eisner. Sorry to disturb you, but I'm delivering to you Mr. Barry Boswick and Mr. Richard Kind. If you'll just sign for them.
Really?
Yeah, right on there.
So yeah, they promoted their bad park with the bad Reluctant Dragon remake.
Hey, Michael. Richard.
Hi, Michael.
Barry. So?
And that's the sad part, is even with cutting out the worst parts of the park, they still don't make it look fun.
What's up? Oh, you want tickets to the park? Backstage tour?
No, we heard that you wanted to see us.
I did?
Yeah, we were told to meet the Big Cheese at the Disneyland Resort.
The big cheese. I'm not the big. I wish I was the Big Cheese. This is the Big Cheese.
Wah, wah.
Hiya, fellas. Gee, I've been looking for you all day.
And again,
sorry,
Mickey is real, Hopper is real, soap opera characters are not.
Well, I want to give you a personal tour of Disney's California Adventure. Ooh. What do you say we start with a ride on California's Dreamin'?
Wah, wah. And again, their big promotion of the park is it's so exhausting that if someone asks you to ride anything in it again, you faint. Real great way of promoting your park. It's like, it's so great you won't want to do it again. Even if Mickey Mouse personally invites you to do it again.
Don't worry, Mr. Eisner, sir. We'll take care of this. Well, we better call first aid.
Yeah, this was before they had moving mouth Mickey costumes.
Tell them we got a 2515.
2515? That means their hamsters have stolen a churro wagon.
What?
You're thinking of a 6486.
This part was definitely ad-libbed.
86. Why would I call first aid and tell them I've forgotten the lyrics to Good Vibrations? What the?
This was clearly the one part where they let Colin and Brad ad-lib.
I have the code book right here.
Well, don't tell me. I gotta know this. 1624.
Higher.
1791.
Higher.
2824.
Lower.
Oh, I knew it. 2516.
You're close. Subtract 2.
2514.
Tony, at this point, Goofy didn't even teach us to fly in this park.
2518. Yes, I knew it. What is it?
So, Mickey, it's just you and me, and I love that ride, and I want to go on it with you.
Okay, boss.
Okay, boss. You know, Mickey, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful theme park.
You betcha.
Not that beautiful. Not for a while yet.
That's not all. We'll be right back after this.
How is that not all?
We hope you enjoyed this whimsical look at Disney's California Adventure, a new theme park located right next door to Disneyland in California.
You know what?
Come visit us and
I was wrong
experience
earlier.
fun and adventure
That
in
clip from the beginning just came from this speech, so he didn't record the whole
We hope
spiel.
to see you soon. I wonder what happened to those security guards.
Security 1 to security 2. We have another situation.
And now here's just Colin and Brad ad-libbing over the credits.
Chief Executive Officer roaming freely in the park. Repeat, roaming freely in the park.
CEO roaming freely is a security code because they don't trust Eisner out on his own. And this was clearly during the time that was a kind of amusing joke I just talked over where Brad says, I'm on the Maliboomer, and Colin says, what are you doing on the Maliboomer? And Brad says, going up and down. So that was kind of a decent line.
Why would a mole be wearing a hat? No, I meant a mole on the bear.
So yeah, free roaming Eisner, because this was all part of Eisner's trying to pitch himself as the new Walt. You know, he roamed the park. He loves Disney for Disney. He's not just a businessman. He's a man who loves the legacy of this company. So, yeah, Eisner's legacy is complicated, I know. He did a lot of good stuff and a lot of bad stuff. And he is single-handedly responsible for Disney being in the position it is now. Like, Eisner set Iger up for his ability to take over the world, because without Eisner, the company would have never become a media power player in the first place. So yeah, that is worth pointing out. I agree, Haley. I have criticisms of Iger, but I appreciate that he knows his place is not in front of the camera. Anyway, that's That Bad Special. And what did we learn today, kids? What did we learn? We learned that in opening year, DCA was exactly as mediocre as we remembered. We learned that they barely promoted the park's good stuff, but also didn't promote the park's worst stuff. So it is baffling what they chose to highlight and the ways they chose to highlight it in this special. It is incredibly baffling. The decisions, well, you know, Charlie, I don't know if there's ever been a really good opening special, but there have certainly been less inexplicable opening specials. Yes, we learned that Hopper and Mickey are real. Kevin Spacey is not, but soap opera characters aren't real either. We have learned that what Reluctant Dragon? I don't know what you're talking about. And we learned so much else. And so little at the same time. Yes, this was in the days before social distancing, but honestly, the park still would have been safe even with social distancing. There's definitely points where it's clear they were more interested in writing just a silly comedy special than a promotional special. They weren't interested in really talking about what's really there. They were just like using it. Come on in. They were just using it as a springboard for silly jokes.
Hi.
Allie's here, everyone.
Hello.
We are discussing what we learned with the DCA special, and the answer is not very much.
That the park should never been built?
I mean, that the park at least should have been built in a way closer to it exists now.
Ah, okay.
But here, take an earbud.
Okay.
Because we're about to move on to some other DCA promotional material.
Sounds good. Rachel says hi, by the way.
Oh, yay. So, some people have questions involving that special beyond the questions we all have. We already discussed it's weird that Colin was paired with Brad and not with Ryan. When Colin and Ryan are usually the people paired together. Well, the fact of the matter is Ryan Stiles did a different DCA promotional tour.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, it was alongside another co-host of Colin's. And as soon as I bring this up here. We're not going to watch the entirety of this because some parts of it are frankly unwatchable.
Because we don't want to hurt you like that.
But there are things going on here.
I feel like I need to mention Rachel at least twice a stream just so I can get Mariah to go, Rachel!
Sure. So on the Rosie O'Donnell show, they promoted California Adventure with the cast of the Drew Carey Show.
Yes.
And
I know you will, Mariah. I know you will.
so we're not going to watch this entire thing because parts of it are unwatchable. But we're going to watch enough of it to show that, say what you will about the quality of this, it was a more accurate presentation of DCA 1.0. And as...
That's going to be really great.
That's your favorite ride here?
It's the favorite ride I've ever been on. Hi, guys. How you doing?
I do like the music choice here. Do, 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 do. Wow, wow.
Hi! All right, so here we are. California streaming.
We went to a taping of Price is Right and saw Drew Carey.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to show the Superstar Limo bit. We'll get there.
I mean, I feel like it's legally required that if you're doing this, you have to show the Superstar Limo bit.
This is another one, like, I don't dislike anyone here. I like the Drew Carey cast. I like Rosie O'Donnell fine.
Mm-hmm.
But this was unscripted. This was just following them around the park for a day. So it's a more accurate representation of the confusion of being
at the theme park
at California Adventure. And there's this whole bit where Ryan and Drew don't want to ride California Screamin', and they're like, no, we're not scared. We just got other stuff to do.
I'm a screamer and a holder. Yeah.
Look at that baby Dietrich Bader there.
Baby Bader.
I don't think they actually filled an entire day. It's mostly just boring, unwatchable. Like, we're going to skip past the stretch that's just them playing the games on the boardwalk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, classic California traffic joke, Ryan. What's really weird now is looking back and remembering, oh, that's right, John Carroll Lynch started out on the Drew Carey Show.
Yeah, he did.
Like, it's like, you know, respected actor John Carroll Lynch is here on this talk show promoting California Adventure 1.0. Incredibly wild.
Yes, indeed.
And then he went on to be the other McDonald brother.
This carousel,
that's what
carousel at sea is kind of like my style.
And yeah, so this special episode of the Rosie O'Donnell Show is just them walking around pointing at things. It's
Oh, we get to win.
So yeah, we'll skip the part with them just playing carnival games. But we can watch them riding Maliboomer.
Rock your cage, don't rock your cage.
Well, okay, first they ride Sunwheel, and they get the shit scared out of them on Sunwheel.
Krista, let's go. All right.
Drew, you want me to hold your prize? No, somebody else is holding my prizes. All right. Games I won. You're still mad because I beat you the Dolphin.
Where'd you grow up? New York.
I'd like to come on, but I can't with all the prizes I've won. Let's see what's so tough about that. All right, sure.
And yeah, it's just unscripted. The cast of the Drew Carey Show babbling.
You know Ryan cheated.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Where'd you grow up?
It's also very like. It always throws me to see Kathy Kinney without the Mimi makeup.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's like I was like, oh right, you're a normal person.
We have a house up.
All right, have a good night. I assume the archive of the stream will be auto-saved because I think YouTube does that. So
yeah.
I beat him at the Dolphins. That's why he's doing it. Yeah.
I love how mad Drew gets. Right.
and yeah, they just had like 2 at a time ride cars, cameras following them, and they're just talking to each other. You know, they're just chatting. They're just having a good time. Celebrities, they're just like us.
China, me looking so fine. I'm getting there.
You know, we get along really well. We get along really great. Doesn't matter. Whatever upsets Drew.
Rosie and Krista Miller are bonding over something.
Show tunes.
It's also funny that the other special we watched had the stars of Spin City, and this has the wife of the creator of Spin City. Krista Miller is married to Bill Lawrence.
Oh God, I forgot that.
Yeah, who created Spin City before Scrubs.
Spin City is something I've managed to like memento wash out of my brain, and I just can't explain why.
Whoa. Whoa.
Okay.
I'm gonna yard. Whoa.
Okay, hold it.
Wheel on the Sky is not a bad music choice for this.
Wow, you see the whole park.
Look at the water.
Like, I would probably do that music choice if they didn't already do it when I was talking about the Ferris wheel in a video. But yeah, they're all thrown by the swinging gondolas because nobody knew back then. Yes, each special has exactly one bakery tour host.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly some Who's Line people.
Malaboomer.
Okay, this is gonna count.
Malaboomer.
2 seconds. Okay, I'm not afraid. Are you? No. No, not at all. I'm not afraid at all.
Yeah.
I laugh at fear. No, me too. Ha ha. I hold hands for danger. Hold hands for danger. There you go. It's you and me. Krista's afraid.
Rosie, I'm not afraid.
It's also neither. I think part of what they were able to get away with is neither the Rosie O'Donnell Show nor the Drew Carey Show were actually owned by Disney, even though I think they both aired on ABC.
I believe you're correct on this.
But I think they were both Warner Brothers shows.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably had a little less Disney corporate mandate in this special.
And both were like doing well enough rating wise that they couldn't really like, even impose it if they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if they were like both faltering, they were like, all right, listen to mandate.
Yeah.
Is this really terrifying? Oh yes it is. You're just such a lawyer.
Ready?
We're just kind of like, ah!
Look with my finger. Looks like I'm giving everyone the finger.
Oh, is that your short finger?
Okay, it was syndicated, so it aired on ABC in some markets. But not everywhere.
Yeah.
But the Drew Carey Show and Who's Line, I believe, were both Warner Brothers. But they aired on ABC, so Disney still had contracts with the people on them. The pacing in these clips is also not great because, only so many people can fit on a ride at a time. So it keeps cutting back and forth between, the different pairings of people on the ride. And here they only had 2 on a row at a time because they also had the camera rig there. I want to be Malibu where it happens. We all rewatch some Jerk episodes a lot.
I know I rewatch a lot of Doggins episodes frequently.
I don't, because screw that guy.
It's wild because I could just come into your room anytime and just have you verbatim do the episode for me if I wanted to.
I don't remember most of my old scripts.
Well, there you go. Oh, this is good use of Lenny Kravitz.
And also, it's clear that all the POV footage was just stock footage Disney provided them with, or footage that they went back and shot separately.
Yeah. Okay, Maria, I desperately need you to get Rachel to get hooked into Arc Theory because she's just not watched any of this stuff yet, and it's on brand for her. It's just me yelling commands at one of your fans, basically.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Oh.
It's doing the thing. It's doing the
fun.
thing Chromebook does after a while where...
It like reboots.
Yeah. But I think we can make that... Let's try fixing that.
Share the screen.
This clip's starting over. That's not what we want. Okay. We're going to do it this way.
Uh-huh.
That's not what I meant to hit, you dumb machine.
The internet
Hi, gang. We're back.
Hello.
Sorry about that. Technical difficulties, as one does. Thank you to shouting out our friends who also make good stuff. Okay, are we back? Can you see us? Thank you for bearing with us.
Gremlins ate the spine taste continuum.
Yeah.
Gremlins, just gremlins. Oh, sugar, do 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 do.
Allie said the internet, and then the screen went kablooey. So, so that's about right.
That's my role. I am glorious chaos.
Do not summon the name of the internet, honey. Okay.
I've learned this the hard way. Alrighty.
I need to bring back. I need to get back to the clip we were going to watch. I should have actually put this in a playlist before doing this, but
hey, you're good. 'Cause you got me wanting you. Oh, sugar.
we could just have you sing, and that could be the new stream.
I mean, I'm down with it. It's gonna probably just be Candy Girl over and over, both the Archie's version and New Edition.
So yeah, my Chromebook does this thing that annoys me, where after a while, it automatically reloads tabs that I'm not using, and it's very frustrating. Or tabs that I'm not currently in, and since I'm in a different tab to manage the stream and the chat than the tab I'm playing this from, I'm sure there's an easy fix to it, but I tried the one allegedly easy fix that I Googled, and it didn't fix it. So, I don't know.
You know, chaos until it happens.
I don't know. So, yes, they just sang Wizard of Oz going into Hollywood for some reason.
Hey, look, there's an empty window. Quick, get in there.
Also, Drew's like, look, there's an empty window, just rubbing it in the face of all the people. Like, the real tourists in the park are being roped off to let the celebrities go through. And the celebrities are just like...
have the hot dogs after the roller coaster. Otherwise, could have been bad.
I have never been to a Ward Wiener, so I can't say. I will take your word for it.
I've had something there that I thought was okay, but I can't remember what it was. One of their specialty hot dogs.
Also, I'm not much of a hot dog person personally. Like, we've had many discussions about this.
I didn't used to be, but hot dogs have grown on me in the past in the past couple of years.
I like Plaza Inn. I like the fried chicken.
Also, before this last commercial break, it had just ended with Drew and Rosie eating pizza, and now after the break, it started with Drew and Rosie eating hot dogs.
Hot dogs, armored hot dogs. Does Rosie O'Donnell eat armored hot dogs?
We'll never know.
This is true.
I think I need to start doing these in a room that's closer to the Wi-Fi router.
When we get our own place.
Or plugged into the internet connection.
Yeah.
This part I actually find kind of cute and charming, that Rosie is so excited to meet Mulan and Mushu in the park.
Can you sing the song? Sure I can. Yeah, for you. But how about if you sing for me? Okay.
Rosie asks, can you sing the song? And Mulan says, sure, but why don't you sing it? Because she's non-union and not allowed to sing in a park.
The business to defeat
your mom.
Did they send your daughter when I asked?
Even Rosie is not immune to I'll make a man out of you.
Oh, yeah.
You're the saddest bunch I ever met. You know, if you guys don't know,
Back up before you're through, Mr. I'll make a man out of you.
Your kid's 9 months. You'll know Mulan in a few years.
Wow, look at this.
Wow, look at this is nice with having so many kids. This is sort of amazing.
Get a little like a quick little animation.
This is Animation Plaza?
Yep, the animation building, which they closed off for them. In the previous special, they showed Bambi's mom dying in the animation building.
Yeah, that's dark.
That's how they're promoting Come to This Thing. Here it's just like sing along with the clips, which is what the plaza actually is.
Bum.
Was anybody with Gary? Was anyone here of like an animated thing?
I was Geppetto.
Yeah, that wasn't animated. That was you.
How dare you bring that up, Drew? Stop acting like you're proud of that. Look, Geppetto clips.
There is such a thing.
Sorry to torture you with that flashback, Tony.
Who would you be most like? Do you have a guess?
The troll doll.
I would be like Turk, the monkey in Tarzan.
Very funny, Rosie.
The Beast Wide.
I will say this, at least Rosie seems happy to be at a Disney park. Like, at least Rosie seems like she's having fun with it.
Yeah.
Enchanté. It is with the greatest pleasure.
Okay, and once again, we promote Beast's Library. Nothing for Ursula's Grotto, which is the room I need footage of.
The wonderful personality that is you, sir, or madame. Would you rather dance?
This gives us more of a sense of what it was like, because again, this is actually showing you the park.
Plan things out, or just see what happens. Are you ruled more by the passion of your heart?
Big agree. Haley, big agree.
Do you prefer doing things you used to, or the latest and greatest? Would you rather eat lunch?
And we're just getting little clips of what the whole cast of the Drew Carey Show voted for each of these, apparently. That's true. Ursula's Grotto had very little lighting, but I miss it.
Cinderella, Captain Hook from Peter Pan, Jiminy Cricket from Pinocchio, Mushu from Mulan, Tarzan, Jane.
Diedrich Bader is most like Tarzan.
He kind of probably smells like him.
Did I tell you our Diedrich Bader story?
What?
Part of Disney's California Adventure.
Actually, we'll get to it.
Beautiful.
Here's the only part that's like an actual scripted promotional part.
Huge. Look at this. Gorgeous. It reminds me of Radio City.
Is it similar to my Warren Beatty story?
They have a great show in here called Step.
No, it's more pleasant than that.
Okay.
What they perform is Step in Time from Mary Poppins, which I also love, and I did once with the Dick Van Dyke. Whatever.
So yeah, this is the one part that's not just following them around the park. It's like actually showing something off, and it's for fucking Steps in Time. But first, we got to show previously on the Rosie O'Donnell show when Step in Time is performed. Nothing to do with the park. She's just bragging about the time she got to play with Dick Van Dyke.
But who wouldn't brag about the time they got to play with Dick?
I mean, no, it's a big mood. And this is long before that clip that went viral from the Disneyland special of Dick Van Dyke coming out during Step in Time.
Mm-hmm. Dick Van Dyke always looks like just as the edible's about to hit. Like,
granted, this was before Dick Van Dyke was in his 90s, so it was
just back in the day
so it was
when he was a less spry 72.
Less super exciting. And now they're showing the Steps in Time version of Step in Time. So it's like, let's just show the song twice in a row. So my Diedrich Bader story, and it's really Nick's Diedrich Bader story. When we had the press pass to Kineticon,
okay.
Diedrich Bader was one of the guests of honor,
Ah.
and so when we were in the press junket that they were doing with each of the celebrity guests each day.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody who had press passes could gather and like take turns asking questions for Diedrich Bader. So, Nick was there with me. We were there representing Geek Vision at Kineticon. And Nick raised his hand first to ask questions for Diedrich Bader. And Nick's like, yes, Nicholas Bogart Gansel from Geek Vision. You've been in so many classic comedies, Drew Carey Show. Like, you have such a great comedic pedigree, but you're also in all those bad spoof movies. So what do Friedberg and Seltzer, what blackmail do they have on you? And Diedrich Bader laughed and said, my agent keeps asking me the same question.
Second question, how much child support do you owe that requires you to do this?
Well, then his real answer was just like, yeah, I know they, like, not everyone thinks they're funny, but they're a lot of fun to make. And that's like, that's valid. This weird mix of Step in Time that has animation clips.
So this is how we're walking down the aisle, right?
Well, I was in the room too, Ryan, so I could have talked to Batman as well.
So yeah, we're getting all your groomsmen to go down the aisle like this, right?
Definitely not.
All right.
Most of my groomsmen are in the chat.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just like being back in Hollywood, isn't it? It is.
It's just like being a handful of miles north.
I think mean and you hurt puppy.
Well done.
Style icon, goddess among women. Oh,
And your hair looks ridiculous.
I love her.
I can tell you a few things. You fix your
I will call you daddy. You're just perfect.
If you ever do anything to any of those puppies, I'll wring your neck.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Rosie is enjoying being allowed to yell at Cruella de Vil.
Hearing me?
Rosie's road trip continues.
Just gets better every day.
Yeah, apparently this was followed by a trip to Disney World.
As you do.
Joining Rosie in the Kingdom of Vacations.
I want that. You me both. I want it.
Plus, our next guest knows how to get into the tune.
There's actually a chance that we'll be walking down the aisle to an acoustic cover of Fantasmic. That's the one theme park we're doing. The one theme park thing we're doing at the wedding.
Yeah.
I would say it's because the Drew Carey Show was not a family-friendly show, but neither was Roseanne. So I don't know. I guess Drew just didn't want it as much, but they just had the Drew Carey Show cast promote everything all the time. But now we get to the meat of it.
Truly the best part, the MVP of it all. Yes!
What you're all here for.
Superstar Limo.
Yeah.
You know why?
Why?
Well, because I'm on it.
Excellent.
That's right.
Superstar Limo.
Right next to Disneyland.
Exactly, located right next to
Superstar Limo has a
Some off-camera aide just said, you have to keep driving home that it's right next to Disneyland.
Yeah.
It's like a photograph. Oh, here we go.
I did have the Rosie O'Donnell, but I also chewed her head off because I did that with all of my dolls.
As if you were new in Hollywood, you want to become a superstar, right? Come on, my darling.
Yes.
They're playing All-Star as they get in, which is just like... It's just like a wormhole of cursed things.
Really? Same. Big time same.
Did anybody bring a
Well, they eventually had a baby, but not a Disney park visiting age kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our first stop is glamorous Rodeo Drive.
Ah.
That's my final answer.
Hi, Regis. They're just trying so hard. They're trying so hard to make it look like they're having fun.
And there's Hollywood beauty, Cindy Crawford.
Just like, oh.
Hey, there's Tim Allen.
You know what? I will not have any Smash Mouth hate in this chat.
Diedrich-
the true hate.
Diedrich Bader performatively holding his sides at Tim Allen is the best thing that's ever happened in Superstar Limo.
Yeah.
How about a map to your house, Drew Carey?
Ryan Johnson, just the Gordon-Levitt.
I think it was.
This is the new Benoit Block movie. This is Superstar Limo.
There was one other very funny part that we kind of talked over. I couldn't tell whose voice it was, but at the Drew Carey animatronic, somebody said, "Is that Robert Zemeckis?"
Mhm.
And in a desperate attempt to make it fun for themselves, they pretend to be asleep when the picture is taken.
It's a conspiracy, man. All the way to the top, Tony. All the way to the top.
This is some of the only official footage of Superstar Limo out there.
Yeah, it's wild.
Like, the only non-homemade footage of Superstar Limo is this special. Because it was highlighted in a souvenir DVD. But I think for licensing reasons, the clip in the souvenir DVD didn't show any of the celebrities on Superstar Limo. It just showed like the cutouts.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan's a little queasy for this ride. Ryan's look a little.
Are you alright? Alright, we're going
And they're going straight to Soaring. They go straight from the worst ride in Disney history to the best ride in the park.
Yeah.
Like an old like Area 51.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But first, just weird streetmosphere.
Really angry
Mhm.
pillowcases.
I feel like I had a dream about that the other night. It's the last thing I see before I fall asleep nowadays.
Just random Steppenwolf streetmosphere.
Why don't you come with me, little girl? All magic up and around.
So yeah, in the same segment, we get the worst DCA had to offer and the best DCA had to offer.
True.
Kind of wild.
Mhm.
I love that. This is my favorite. When I come to a Disney place, that's my favorite stuff, man. Those little bands that walk around, those little singing groups and stuff. Man.
Hear that, Bob Chapek? Drew Carey likes when there's entertainment around the lands.
Streetmosphere, bitch, yeah. Well, I mean, depending on how things go, Chapek may not be there for long, so.
Well, it's confusing.
Classic, the VHS lines, like, "Argh."
Yeah. Drew Carey, call Bob Chapek and tell him to put entertainment back in Galaxy's Edge.
You have enough money, you can make it happen, my dude.
I know you're not connected to Disney anymore, but use some of that Geppetto goodwill.
Yeah.
Also, I'm pretty sure they were walking in through the exit.
Yep.
And now Ryan's pretending to be a cast member because Chiamity.
We're going to be soaring over California today. I want to remind you at all times, keep your arms and your hands inside the ride. So enjoy soaring over California.
Yeah, but Chapek still made all the entertainment cuts, so we still yell at him.
Just a second
Soaring, I got a soaring. Me and you, and silly old soaring the poo.
Now I'm just enjoying the footage of Soren, except for the weird, Mothman footage there
Yeah.
of them
Like,
on the vehicle. Like that's a jarring cut. Like you got the perfectly good on-ride footage here.
I think I used to play for Soaring over Carol Channing.
Hey, what's up for this? Oh. Ow. Ow. Look at that.
I miss Soaring over California.
I know, baby, I know. It'll probably come back again.
Well, it will eventually, but I don't know. It depends on if the parks reopen. If they're still doing Food and Wine Fest, we'll see if they still have it be over California for a while.
I hope they have it because you spent so much money on those Sip and Savor passes, and
Yeah, well, I expect I'll be able to get a refund or a voucher or something.
I want a fried chicken with those weird mimosa balls.
Yeah, I'm mostly upset because I wanted to try things that I was saving to try for when we could go do it together.
Yeah, I neglected to renew my pass before this all went down, and actually, I'm really glad I didn't now. So
Yeah, well.
eh.
I mean, we'll see how long it takes the parks to reopen is the thing.
Well, I am kind of into Tony's theory about it doing July 17th, honestly.
Yeah, that sounds logical.
I don't want to cosplay, but I would like to adjust your bustle if we do it.
You heard a little bit of Patrick's voice just over the sound of the crowd there. Just thanks for soaring over California with us. But
You're a really good Patrick Warburton.
oh, thanks.
Hey, that was a great ride. Now we're gonna go up to the Grizzly what?
River Run.
Grizzly River Run.
There's clearly a couple moments where the producer was like, "You got to talk to the camera."
It's been a wonderful day. Yeah. And Ryan
Go home.
come on this ride with us, isn't he?
That's right.
I think he is.
Steven? The guide?
Yeah, Steven Ryan.
Yeah, I heard that Impossible Cheeseburger Mac was pretty rad.
Are you gonna come on this ride?
Yeah, I heard something about that because it's Haley, because I think it's something with that Western States Alliance pack that they're doing now.
But
The Grizzly River.
I think everything's still going to be up in the air until we get concrete numbers. But I don't know. We'll see.
I would like to have a job again, personally.
Yeah. Anyway, we don't have to watch the Grizzly River Run bit necessarily, unless you all want to, but we can just hang out now. So that was our visit back to 2001. Summer of 2001, the last time America felt innocence.
Well, accurate.
It was a simpler time in a lot of ways. But it was also a time where Superstar Limo existed. And so, you know.
I like Grizzly too. The one time I was on it, it was delightful. I would also like to go see a chiropractor. I also want to get my lip waxed. Like, a little things I want to do again. I just want to be around the people.
I want to... Yeah, I want to do things.
Yeah, concrete numbers do sound heavy, I know, Nick.
Concrete numbers do sound heavy.
I was going for it was New York State of Mind, but no, I like that. That was better.
Yeah. I
want to see your girlfriend too, Tony. She seems nice. The one time I met Kate, I liked her. Good job, sir.
The one time at the Weird Al concert. How many pop culture references can I fit into one sentence? That depends on how long a sentence it's allowed to be.
We could be here all night, folks.
And that depends on how many, like, if you can count a single word as multiple pop culture references. Like, if I go, "Here's Johnny," does that count as both a Shining reference and a Tonight Show reference? Anyway.
Yeah, for real.
There are things, obviously, when we're through all this, there are things we're looking forward to. But just in terms of ignoring the craziness of the world right now as much as we can, pretending that it's 3 months ago, looking back on DCA 1.0, looking back on DCA 19 years ago.
Wild.
It's kind of insane.
Yeah.
And obviously the park is largely a vast improvement since then. It's largely been improved. Paradise Pier just keeps making lateral moves, but
it's fine. It's okay.
Lateraled itself into Pixar Pier. But, you know, I do kind of miss the weirdness of DCA 1.0, but I don't miss the ugliness, if that makes any sense. Yeah, Knott's is a better California Adventure than California Adventure. Knott's is
the naughtiest park in California. So.
Well, and like it was discussed earlier, Calico River Rapids versus Grizzly River Run. Lateral Day Saints indeed. I do think Grizzly River Run is the better rapids ride layout. Like it's got the drops, it's got the lift hill at the start and not at the end, which is a real nice thing. And Grizzly River Run is visually beautiful, but Calico River Rapids, I think, is just so charming.
It got more jokes.
It's got great like classic animal gags in it, classic visual gags, like very, very Mark Davis-y in its design.
Just the entire chicken and the fox section makes me crack up every time.
But my biggest issues with Calico River Rapids have to do with the things that were problems like with the original Bigfoot Rapids. It's like because of that layout and because the queue goes through the layout, most of the gags get spoiled for you before you even get on the ride, which is a mixed blessing because you can take the time to appreciate them from the queue in a way you might not be able to from the ride, but it also breaks the illusion that these things are happening organically because it's just still happening.
But I kind of like it because it adds more visual interest as you're waiting in line, which is like a personal thing for me.
I don't dislike that element of it all. I just wish there were more things that were just for the line and more things that were just for the ride.
Oh, that makes sense.
Well, the worst in terms of layout is Roaring Rapids at Six Flags Magic Mountain, because that has lift hill at the end and it doesn't have turntable loading. It just has one vehicle at a time loading. But that's decently immersive, at least, if only because it's so far away from everything else at Six Flags that you're just in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, Valencia kind of doesn't have like a lot to do.
But
spoken as if I know what's going on at the park. So
yeah, you've never been to Magic Mountain. You've just seen my footage.
I have just opinions about anything. So
hey, for those of you on Patreon, tomorrow will be part 1 of the Q&A episode of our podcast.
Yes, he talks a lot because I have very few opinions about the things.
So yeah, we decided to split the Q&A episode into 2 parts. Part 1 is all the theme park questions, and part 2 is all the other questions. There were more theme park questions than other questions, but we ended up talking a lot longer about the other questions.
Well, it's because somebody asked about opinions in restaurants. I think Ryan, you did, and I have a lot of opinions about just food in general.
No, Ryan asked about movie theaters.
Oh yes. Whoever asked about the food question, I just have a lot of like opinions about restaurants in LA. So that one I think went on for like 15 minutes. So.
Yeah, so those will be coming out over the next 2 weeks, those Q&A episodes.
And then we have a cool sub-series coming out soon.
Well, cool for, at least fun for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're pledging to Patreon at the $3 level, for those of you, so I put in the description all the places to give me money because I don't have monetization enabled. So if you wanted to do Super Chat, you can't. But if you still want to give me money, those are places you can do it. But no pressure. I know money is tight for everyone.
Help us keep us in gas and Coke Zero.
But in the link, among more immediate places to give one-time donations is the link to the Patreon. And if you pledge at the $3 level, you can hear our podcast at home with the Dogginses. And yeah, we talk about stuff.
Yeah.
How would you describe our podcast, honey?
Our podcast is usually you coming to ask me we should record an episode, and I'm distracted the whole time.
But then sometimes it's you telling a story.
That's true.
For instance, if you've not heard the backlog about Home with the Dogginses yet, you can go back there and you can listen to Allie talk about what it was like going to the Knives Out premiere.
Or about me getting arrested at Disney World.
Yeah, you can hear her telling her stories of Mickey jail as a teenager.
I have more. We'll get to them at some point. I eventually need to tell my Warren Beatty story, or technically it's my parents' Warren Beatty story.
Yeah, we'll record that one at some point.
Mm-hmm. I just need to get the full details from my mom, just to kind of to refresh on that. Pasta Sisters is baller. I really do enjoy.
That one didn't come up when we were discussing restaurants.
Well, it's because I haven't been back to Pasta Sisters since I was babysitting Tripp's dogs a couple months, 2 years ago.
You can find this podcast at patreon.com/doggins, pledge $3. And then if you go to your settings somehow, I forget exactly what you click, but if you click something, you can get an RSS feed that you can add to your podcast app. So you can just download it like a regular podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Kevin is right. Allie is an amazing storyteller because Allie has lived a hell of a life. Most of you have probably listened to Vault Disney, so you heard her Sherman Brothers story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My brother he had listened, and he was really glad that I made him sound much better than he actually was.
I don't think you did, though.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't think you made him sound that good.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but he apparently thinks I shined him up a bit, so.
Well, so I guess he was even worse than that.
Yeah, I think so. I think he may not have been telling me about certain things with that thing, so.
Probably.
Yeah.
We also didn't mention it when we were talking about our favorite restaurant, because we were talking, again, specifically about non-theme park restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously we do love Mrs. Knott's Chicken Dinner.
That's very good.
Even though I think I'm allergic to something in that building.
Yeah. Oh, when Story Day Wouldn't Tell was when we went to go see the Sherlock Holmes play, and then we met Fred Willard that night.
That's true. That's going to be, I think, a future episode, is talking about some. We do talk a little bit in the Q&A. In addition to talking about movie-going experiences, we talked about some live theater experiences. I think we'll do another episode at some point soon talking about other live theater experiences we've done.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan. That's very sweet of you to say.
Thank you, Ryan. That's lovely.
I'm glad you enjoy it. It's
and yes, Tony, I did. I feel like I did make him sound like a two-tone asshole, but
Matt, have you? Wow.
That needs to change next time.
Yeah, next time you're in town, we need to rectify that. I always lose track of who was here on which trips, because it's like, Matt, you've been here with Kevin, but then you were also here for VidCon, but then you were all it's like, which trip had which park visits? I get thrown off. I love Knott's so much.
I know you do, baby. Oh, I really want to go to Dave's Hot Chicken at some point. And the Moon Room and the Morrison.
We didn't talk about what was the other hot chicken place?
Oh, Helen Ray's.
Yeah, we didn't talk about Helen Ray's because I think you said your experience there wasn't great.
Well, I am of the belief that having to wait 4 hours in line for chicken, I think, lessens the experience in a big way. I once waited an hour and a half in line for the chicken. They gave me more chicken than I ordered, which is very kind of them to do. But I was so annoyed because I had this fucking hipster that just kept on bumping me the entire time in line, that sort of ruined the experience. Also, it's my feeling on hot chocolate is that you need to spice it correctly in order for it to be good. And I feel like Howling Ray focuses more on the heat aspect and not on textural taste and things like that. So that's my opinion about Howling Rays. I want to go back there again sometime, but maybe once we're allowed to leave the house again.
Yeah, because that line for Howling Rays would not do well in the social distancing world.
No. They tried, and they've been trying, but people keep on waiting.
Raising Cane's is good.
It is. I think it's in Florida too, dude. I know it's definitely in Louisiana.
It's a lot of places.
Yes.
I love me some Raising Cane's, and Well, as you know from last time you were in town, Chandler, we also enjoyed the Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Many a time.
Um,
Also, we should take him to Chicken Box next time. Chandler, we will take him to Chicken Box.
okay, yeah. So there's a place called Chicken Box in Whittier that we are at some point going to do a taste test video with, because people keep comparing it to Mrs. Knott's chicken, and I don't know if it's quite as good, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, I have a Vince Vaughn story. Threw up on him once.
You threw up on Vince Vaughn?
Yeah, on his shoes. I was like 9.
I think you've told me this story.
Yeah. So a lot of my celebrity stories, I'd like to say, is because I went to a school where they would pay famous people with learning disabilities to come in for a day to hang out with us. So I had to interview Vince Vaughn for like the elementary school newspaper, and I was so nervous I vomited on his shoes. He was very nice about it. Seems like he I'm not saying this has happened to him before, but he seemed to be kind of like, oh, she's a child.
Okay, my confession, Charlie, is that I've never had Zaxby's. So
It's so fucking good. I love Zaxby's.
yeah, so that is on my list.
That was one of my best things in Kentucky was finding Zaxby's. I'm still dreaming about it to this day.
Ryan, what I've heard from people on the inside is that they're planning on reopening Mystery Lodge. They just like need a factory piece. Like anytime something breaks at Knott's, they usually need factory pieces from Germany to fix them. So by all accounts, Mystery Lodge is planning on reopening. We just have no idea when. But at this point, we don't know when anything is reopening.
This is true. Yeah, Coral is correct that cane sauce is so good. I honestly could lick someone. I could lick it like.
I do like the Raising Cane sauce. Like when I'm done with the chicken, if there's sauce left, I'm dunking the bread in it.
You actually like the sauce, I think, more than me, so I always leave you extra because you enjoy it.
Well, you like it too. We share it.
Yeah, we do.
Maybe we should start getting 2 sauces instead of 2 toasts.
Yeah.
We usually
But the toasts are so good though.
The toasts are also very good. It's tough.
Yeah.
I did hear that there's going to be a Movies Postmates pop up. I have to imagine run by the same people who do all the pop culture pop-ups next to the Target. So the Movies burger will probably be like that mediocre good burger I had in that one video.
I want my check too. I have bills to pay. I got dogs put through college.
But then John didn't make Iron Man 3. Freaking
Shane Black?
Yeah, Shane Black did. We're not doing a full Doughboys, but we're going to do some taste test vlogs.
Oh, absolutely.
We shot one before lockdown that I will be editing at some point, where we finally put the In-N-Out versus Five Guys matter to rest. Or did we?
Yeah. We have very strong opinions on that episode when it comes out. I'm very strident about mine specifically. Yes, Bianca Del Rio is a favorite here, at least in my room. So you have not, I think, watched. I've been trying to at some point. I want to get Dave to watch a couple episodes of Drag Race, and I think like
I've seen some.
You have, and you've been really good about it. But I feel like season 6 with Bianca would be the best one for him. So
I like what I've seen. Yeah. I just don't binge reality shows. Is really what it comes down to. I'm still in the spoiler alert for the video. I'm still on Team In-N-Out,
and I'm still on Team Five Guys. So,
but we're both on Team Both.
Yeah, well, it's like so Dave's innovation that we had. Well, I think it was technically our combined innovation was if you mash up an In-N-Out #1 with the Popeyes chicken
with the Popeye sandwich.
It's a perfect mashup. Okay, Five Napkin is very, very good. It's one of those ones I can only eat like once on a blue moon. Is juicy.
I don't believe I've had that.
I think that was one of those ones we were going to try and go. We were in New York for the engagement party, but I think they were closed.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think, you're right, Haley. He would enjoy the Jackie Cox showed up, one of the drag queens showed up as from Nocello.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm getting my...
Wahlburgers, we did not care
Not
for.
Wahlburgers, Whataburger.
Well, no, Wahlburgers.
Wahlburgers, yes. Wahlburgers is not good. Whataburger I have not had yet.
I have not had either. though we keep on saying we're gonna go to Texas at some point because we have friends down there, and I would like to go to the Burger of Blah. Bye, Tony.
Good night, Tony. This has been fun. We'll just keep going we'll probably wrap things up shortly. I don't know, because that was all the programming block I had was the DCA specials. The name of our podcast is At Home with the Dogginses, and you can find it on patreon.com/Doggins.
I love Museum of the Moving Image. I tried to work there so often when I lived in Queens. I love Culver's. Oh my God. Okay. I know that if you get the whatchamacallit, the fried cheese curds and you put it on the butter burger, it's fucking rad. It's also just a stoner classic there.
So a little spoiler for the In-N-Out Five Guys video, but sort of my take on the thing was like, I still prefer the In-N-Out burger overall, but I will grant that the Five Guys patty without the sauce is juicier than the In-N-Out patty is. Slater's, I went there once and I tried the peanut butter burger and was slightly underwhelmed by it, but it wasn't bad. It just got very hyped up to me. Actually, I think that was when Matt, Kevin, and Ryan were in town. Yeah, that's my big thing is like Five Guys costs like 3 times as much as In-N-Out, and I don't think the quality is 3 times as good. Shake Shack, I like.
Yeah, Shake Shack's fine.
I actually really like Shake Shack's chicken nuggets, which I didn't even know about until like last year.
Yeah. That was a game changer for you when we went. I think it was in Pennsylvania we had this.
Yeah, it was when we were in Pennsylvania for your sister's wedding.
Oh yeah, she is married, isn't she?
Yeah, remember that?
Oh yeah, true. I was in that wedding, right?
I'm pretty sure you were there.
Okay, cool.
I'm pretty sure you were standing up there as a bridesmaid. Carl's Jr.'s we are not fans of.
No.
Carl, we do not love Carl.
Never been to Sonic. Steak and Shake is fine.
You haven't been to Sonic?
No, I haven't.
There are a couple around here. We should go sometime.
Yeah.
And it's all, car based.
Yeah, it's like, is it Sonic's like Checkers, right? Or
Yeah. It's like the Rallies Checkers competition. Kevin suggests we do a stream where we marathon Dave Does Disney or Blitztravaganza, which I'm down for at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really consider Five Guys to be fast food either.
I don't think it's better enough than fast food, though, to be worth the price.
Del Taco is fine.
I've had Del Taco's burger once, and I do not remember. Well, yeah, This Is the End was probably paid a lot of money by Carl's Jr. to make them sound good.
Exactly.
Double date at Sonic in our separate cars.
Yes, I'm down for it. If Erica and Garrett can do it for themselves, we should do it to us. I really want to go to Taco Time. That's in Seattle, right? Well, right, Ryan? Because I've had friends that have said really glowing things about it. Yes, I know. Shocker. I am a regional fast food connoisseur, and I have not done the Sonic yet. So,
Sonic is only barely regional at this point. Like Sonic is kind of everywhere now.
I just want to go to Culver's now. I want those cheese curds again. Ugh.
This has now officially become a fast food stream.
I'm hungry.
Wendy's is fine.
Wendy's is fine, yeah.
Wendy's...
Their breakfast potatoes. Do not sleep on.
Yeah, now that Wendy's has breakfast on the menu, the breakfast potatoes is the first time Wendy's ever actually had a good fry.
Taco time. Taco time. It's so fun. Taco Bell. David actually put me back onto Taco Bell after being off it for years. Trejo's is a fucking bomb. I love it. It is the best fucking taco place.
Trejo's Tacos is very good. We actually mentioned this in one of the podcast episodes, but we do want to do another taste test video of both the good Trejo's Tacos and the mediocre Wall Burgers, just as like the, having the actor restaurants, because at USC Village near University of Southern California in LA, there is like right around the block from each other a Trejo's Tacos and a Wall Burgers.
Yeah, there's it's just I would like to have everything at Trejo's Tacos like right now.
Chandler, you know for a fact that I also love me some Rubio's.
Rubio's is very good. They've introduced me to Rubio's and I like Rubio's.
I like Rubio. Like, I like the food, but I mostly just like that they have vanilla Coke without having freestyle. Like, it's the only place I know of that does that, where it's like a traditional soda fountain, but it has vanilla Coke, and that's great.
That was a big plus. Trejo's is worth it. Trejo's is completely worth it. I want to go to Trejo's Donuts, which is sort of a spinoff to the taco place, which I've heard good things about.
Yeah, we've driven past Trejo's Donuts a couple times, but we haven't. Another taste test I want to do is in Downey. There is a Randy's Donuts, not the famous location, but just a branch of Randy's Donuts right across from a Dunkin' Donuts. So that donut taste test would also be worth doing.
Oh, I think another one that we should do is Sparky's versus Voodoo at some point.
Oh, just while we're at City Walk?
Yeah.
I feel like Voodoo's going to win that one.
Yeah. That's just unfair, I guess. I have not been to Pink's Hot Dogs, but actually at the place where I am soon to work at, there is a Pink's there, and so we've been talking about maybe going there at some time.
Ryan Walterson, that is a good question, because I've had A&W in both Canada and America, but not close enough to each other for me to be able to notice any difference. And also, it's been so long since I've had either that I don't remember.
I went to an A&W about 4 years ago when I was living in rural Wisconsin, where I got my first taste of Culver's, and I've not forgotten it since then. And it was really cool. They actually had like the old school, you talking to a little monitor and somebody would roller skate with your order over. It was rad. I loved it. Food was like fine. It wasn't amazing, but it was like pretty solid. But I've heard that the Canadian A&W is supposed to be like
a donut extravaganza done as a Benoit Blanc type character.
A donut inside a donut hole.
We'll do it.
Zaxby's, I want Zaxby's because it's better than homophobia chicken.
Hi, Drew. Other coffee joints. So I actually haven't tried Pete's.
I like Pete's a lot.
I was never really a coffee drinker before I started working at coffee places. And then when I worked at Starbucks, I only drank Starbucks because I got the discount. But then I developed enough of an addiction that I was like, I'm going to start drinking coffee. I genuinely like Coffee Bean. I think a Coffee Bean white mocha is so much better than a Starbucks white mocha.
Oh, the original Pink's actually near my old store that I worked at. My the one on the old white store.
Excuse me.
Yep.
But so yeah, I haven't tried Pete's, but there's also just so many local coffee shops we really love.
Yeah.
Charlie, about Roscoe's through Grubhub. Now that I drive for Grubhub, I think I actually know what was going on that night. I have a feeling that whatever order the person was dealing with before us, whatever order our driver was dealing with before us got really delayed. And so it still had heading to restaurant, even though he was probably still waiting on the previous restaurant before us. For those of you who haven't seen, on Charlie's channel, there's a video of us at VidCon a few years ago.
Oh, sorry, babe.
That's fine. We don't actually need this anymore.
All right.
At VidCon a few years ago, playing the NES version of King's Quest V. And the whole time we were waiting for a Grubhub delivery of Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. And like for a full hour, it said heading to restaurant. And so I have a feeling that, yeah, now that I've been on the other end of that, I feel like it's just... I forgot that I got passed off to other drivers. So probably what happened was the first driver got held up somewhere and ended up having to cancel their shift. And then it got passed to someone else after that. Cause I've delivered orders that, it said was supposed to be there like hours earlier, but I only just now got the order, which usually means that somebody else was supposed to deliver it and then canceled the order. So yeah, that's that story.
Yeah.
I am not much of a gamer, but I do play old point-and-click adventure games.
Yeah, you've been on a bit of a Mario kick recently.
Okay, I re-downloaded Mario Run just because I need things to do to pass the time, and yeah. I've never eaten at Pirates Adventure or seen it, but Nick used to work in the gift shop. So sometime we'll have Nick on to talk about Pirates Dinner Adventure.
Indeed, we will.
There's a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in Anaheim, and there's one in LA proper.
Mm-hmm.
But more often than not, I get chicken and waffles I get the chicken waffle sandwich at Universal at Springfield.
Mm-hmm.
Since you brought up chicken and waffles, how about White Castle's version of chicken and waffles?
I miss White Castle.
I've never had White Castle either. That's my whole thing.
White Castle for me is a very certain period of my life when I was living in a flop house in Brooklyn and I smoked a lot of weed. And the cheapest thing I could get was White Castle because I can get an entire crate of burgers for $2.
Yes, I do have a Dave's Obsession phone case, and you can get one too at my TeePublic page.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a shame, Max. Yeah, if you go to tpublic.com/user/Doggins, I think is how you get there. Or if you go to doggins.com/support, there's a link to the TeePublic.
Buy his stuff. It's very quality.
This, I mean, yes, it's already faded, but I've also been putting it through the ringer.
Yes, he has.
IHOP, Denny's, or Village Inn?
Never been to Village Inn.
I'd go IHOP over Denny's.
Yeah, I'd say same.
Everyone's saying Waffle House.
Yep.
The case is fine. Like, it gets the job done as a protective case.
I hate Norms. I hate it so much.
We ate Norms once together, and it was very underwhelming. But my other times, I've had Norms other times, and it was fine. But it was different Norms locations, so it could just be that the Claremont Norms is bad.
Mm-hmm. It's funny to me because Claremont has done so many good things to us. Like I like pie.
Yeah.
And Podges, but Norms Claremont. Bleh.
The Claremont Norms is bad.
Yeah, everything in my life just becomes foodie chat anyway, so this is not unsurprising to me.
Well, this started out as a whole theme park, let's riff this thing together sort of thing. And now that we're done watching things, we can talk about whatever the hell we want.
Exactly, because it's our show, not yours.
Dave does dining, yes.
Yes. I just got a text from you.
Yeah.
Moving on to 1 minute.
Jollibee, we got turned on to Jollibee by a famous friend of Allie's.
Yes.
And we liked it a surprising amount. But then we went back to the one in Anaheim, and it was not as good as when we picked up at the one in LA. So I don't know if there's just not quality control across the chain or if they were just having an off day in Anaheim.
Yeah.
Perkins, I've
never been to.
I know I've been to, but I was a kid and I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I also always got Perkins and Ponderosa mixed up as a kid.
What is Ponderosa?
Another restaurant.
Cool.
It might not exist anymore. I don't remember.
Yeah, we were the heroes of the day when we brought a Chicken Joy bucket to the birthday party.
Yes. Ponderosa does still exist. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember. I had both when I was a kid and don't really remember either one very well.
I would like to nom upon some Jollibee sometime.
See, that's the thing is I'm also, I'm from Connecticut where it was all about local 24-hour diners.
Yeah. There was a really great one called the American City Diner in DC that I was obsessed with.
Firehouse Subs, Kevin?
I think because of the Subway versus Quiznos.
Oh yeah. Definitely Firehouse over Subway and Quiznos.
Yeah.
I love Firehouse. Have not been to Barney's Beanery. We can answer questions that aren't food related.
Yeah,
also,
absolutely. I have more than a track in my brain. I can do multiple tracks, in fact.
But we can talk about whatever you want. Like,
ask us questions. We're not afraid to answer them.
Even though we're doing Patreon exclusive question answering over the next 2 weeks,
Yeah.
it's still.
There's nothing more than I like than talking about myself. So please.
Yeah. If you gotta have one theme park ride in your backyard, our backyard is not very big.
No.
Is the thing.
We could probably put Adventure City in our backyard.
Yeah. I think we can put that short-lived VR shootout in Ghost Town experience.
There we go.
VR showdown in Ghost Town. Outside of Sesame Street, what were our favorite PBS kids shows?
Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers, number one.
Yeah.
I have in the hallway, there is a signed poster of Mr. Rogers that we found at a used bookstore. It wasn't for sale. We just saw it. Like, we were at the used bookstore. My family was at the used bookstore. And we saw just in the office, there was this poster of Mr. Rogers that was signed by Fred Rogers. And we were like, oh, that's so cool. And the owner of the bookstore was like, oh, yeah, do you want it? And we were like, yes.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations, Charlie. I saw they got failed by the Simone, so hooray.
Yes. Gail Simone's fun. Okay. And Ryan, I know you asked for the podcast what CBS, or rather what Fox Kids shows we liked, and we addressed that in the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Mariah, what kind of cheese would we be?
Burrata.
We do like burrata, but we also like pepper jack.
Pepper jack is very good.
Not being much of a gamer, have we ever played Kingdom Hearts?
No.
I played like 5 minutes, like while a friend was playing it.
I play a lot of The Sims. Like, that's my gaming thing of pleasure in Dordt County.
I do like I like the idea of Kingdom Hearts, but like the lore seems so overwhelming to me.
Mm-hmm.
We could clone a ride from other Disney parks into Disneyland. I think
we actually answered that question.
We answered that on Patreon. Have we ever done the Void VR thing at Downtown Disney? Have not. I've heard good things.
Yes.
I've heard good things, and maybe someday. What former Universal Studios ride do you want back most? We might have answered this question also.
I think so. You answered it because I don't have an opinion on this.
But
not for any reason. I just haven't done a lot of park riding.
But I sort of say like neck and neck between Terminator and Back to the Future.
Yeah. Screen-based attraction. You need a big space for that. Good bad.
Well, it depends on the screen. You need a big space for Back to the Future.
True.
Favorite MST2K episode? Mine is Werewolf.
I really, really love Date with Your Family.
Oh, yes.
I love the shorts. I mean, just all of them are classics to me.
Favorite Weird Al style parody? That's a good question.
I like anything Tommy like does musical.
I like. I think as a style parody, because like a lot of his songs are style parodies, a lot of his originals are style parodies, but I don't like think of them as style parodies. So I think his like best style parody in terms of being a style parody might be Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Where are we? Do we ever do the Void in Downtown Disney?
No.
I think Aston answered. Favorite museum, Allie?
Depending on where. So in LA, my favorite one so far has been the Museum of Jurassic Technology. I also really like the Getty. I also really, really like the LACMA as well. Though I feel like I'm very sad about the destruction it's going through right now. I know they're getting the buildings, but fuck that. I really want to go check out the Peterson because they got all those cool cars in there. I also, so in New York, my favorite place in the world is the Met because I'm boring, but I also love the Jewish Museum and I love the Whitney and I love the Frick. The Frick is one of my favorite places because my old boss used to work there and he really loved it too. I had this boss who was French who I worked with at the Hirshhorn, and he would frequently just curse us out in French because we were not French enough to be working for this exhibition about Japanese art. No, he would literally just sort of like, you need to act more like French people. And it's like, this is about Japanese art. Why do we need to act more like French people? Vincent was just unreasonable, which is why I love him dearly. But in DC, Hirshhorn's one of my favorite places, along with the National Museum of African American Culture and History, which I took you to before we left to come out here.
Mm-hmm.
The fried chicken is very good there. Like best cafeteria, all the Smithsonian's, like all the Smithsonian's in general, A+. Hirshhorn Museum, again, just big time. Native American Museum is great, and Cooper Hewitt. I have a lot of opinions. I'm going to just limit it to that. 27 of them.
All right. We'll probably do a full podcast episode about museums. How hard was it to get an early boarding group for Rise of the Resistance? I mean, it was just a matter of getting there early, but then it's really up to fate. Like, once you open the app, like, you just do it as fast as you can, but you just hope you're faster than everyone else. That's all it comes down to.
Tony's got a video coming out at some point about it, and you'll be able to see more about our process.
Max asks, favorite King's Quest game is 6, but which Monkey Island game is your favorite? Okay, that's tough. I think overall, it might be the first one, but it might be the second one. There's a lot I like in the third one, but there's a lot that drags it down. Like Curse of Monkey Island, I do kind of like the art style mostly. And I like a lot of it, but the puzzles are hit and miss. Escape from Monkey Island is mostly bad. But then the Telltale series, I think, had my favorite story of any Monkey Island game. Tales of Monkey Island, I just loved all the narrative beats of that. So what can I say? I like them all except Escape.
It's scary in the dark.
Yes.
Jurassic Park.
Bring back Jurassic Park and E.T. Yeah. The Autry Museum. Okay.
Oh, I really want to go there at some point.
I've been to the Autry Museum once when I was a small child.
You are a small child?
When I was a small child. I went to the Autry Museum once because our family went because they were doing an exhibit that was about depictions of Spanish culture, but it was framed as a Zorro exhibit.
Yeah. American Visionary Art Museum, because that's where we're getting married, and it's a great museum.
Well, now they all know that, so now they can stalk our wedding.
Yeah, you don't know when though.
Yeah, but then once we're tweeting, hey, we're getting married this weekend, then of course that's all still up in the air at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Autry Museum, they were doing a Zorro exhibit, so my brother and I were like, we want to go, we want to see the Zorro exhibit, and they had like original costumes from both the Disney series and other series. This was all before the Antonio Banderas Zorro movies even existed. So, and we brought our own Zorro, like we cosplayed to this museum exhibit. We had our Zorro costumes. I think we do somewhere.
I need to see this. I need to see this.
I need to ask Mom to find them. But we had Zorro costumes, which I later pieced together in adulthood, that Mom just bought us vampire capes and said, look, they're Zorro capes, and then just like made the mask.
I am not shocked. Knowing Jeannie, I am not shocked.
And I actually don't remember if we both cosplayed. It might have been only Nick who cosplayed. But so we went to the Zorro exhibit, and Nick was dressed as Zorro. Possibly both of us were dressed as Zorro. Another kid came up to us, dragging his mom along, said, see, they have Zorro costumes. And the mom was like, did you get those here, or did you get the costumes here, or did you bring them from home? And we were like, oh, we brought them from home. And the kid was so disappointed that there weren't Zorro costumes in the gift shop of this museum exhibit.
Pobrecito. What was the last thing we went on before this went down?
Last attraction we went on before the last one we went on together was Rise of the Resistance.
Yes.
Last one I went on was whatever I went on with Chandler last when he was in town. So
Colossus?
It might have been West Coast Racers. Was the last thing I went on. Guy versus Boys actors, your head getting. Yeah, I think I love Dominic Armato as Guybrush. That's one of the things I love about the third one. I like the special editions. I like the backgrounds in the special editions a lot. The character art is hit and miss in the special editions, but the background art looks like a Burke Breathed storybook or something. Like I really like it. Jurassic World, I have mixed feelings about, which I will eventually explore in a video.
I want to see the Prince Museum like real bad. Well, yeah, you will be.
Yeah, a lot of you will be at the wedding, so I am trying to keep up with the chat here. I think West Coast Racers was the last thing I rode before everything shut down.
Griffith
I
Observatory is really fun.
Yeah, I like the Griffith Observatory. I haven't been there in a while. If we could become co-hosts on any podcast other than our own, I mean, if Podcast The Ride is looking for a fourth good boy,
I think he'd be a perfect good boy. For me,
or if the McElroys are looking for a fourth brother,
hire him. He's cute.
look, they just today celebrated 10 years of Mabimbam.
That is wild.
So
man.
they're looking to shake things up, right?
Yeah. Oh, the Henson Museum, I've heard really good things about.
Yeah, we did the Henson exhibit, of course, at Skirball.
Yeah, Skirball's also really good.
Good night, Mariah.
Night, Mariah. If there's one I have to be on, I'd either would like to be on Screen Test of Time, which is a podcast that's going through every single film ever nominated for an Academy Award, which has been really fun to listen to. Or I would like to be on Teen Creeps. I think I have things to say about Christopher Pike novels.
So if you're on Teen Creeps and I'm on Podcast The Ride, then there are two couples who split between those two podcasts.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, where were we? Got a video on the Tarpus in the pipeline.
I would love to watch that, Charlie.
Can you recommend some good sitcoms to binge? Cheers is on Netflix. Frasier is on Netflix.
Tiger King.
That's not a sitcom. Like, in terms of multicam sitcoms, you can't really be like, so Cheers and Frasier are the best multicam sitcoms on Netflix. News Radio is, I think, the best sitcom of the 90s, but I don't know if it's streaming anywhere.
I'm going to plug my friend Emily. She writes on the show No Good Nick for Netflix.
That show is cute, yeah.
She's also hosting a pilot writing class for pretty little money. If you finally look for her, Emily Schmidt on Twitter. Highly worth it. She was always the funniest person at my writing program. And if you want to get your writing to top quality comedy degree, she's great to have.
My sinuses are catching up with me.
Oh, sorry, baby.
Yeah, it happens. I have not seen The Black Hole. I'm only aware of it by reputation.
Yeah, it's a wild ride, I know.
But yeah, Cheers is great. Frasier is great. You don't have to watch Cheers before Frasier necessarily. There are a couple of callbacks, but it's not like there's like heavy lore continuity or anything.
Yeah. Girlfriends is also a really fun one to binge as well. And Living Single too.
And in terms of single camera sitcoms, you know, I love, Parks and Rec and Community and
The Office.
I mean, The Office I do like, but The Office was good when it was good and really bad when it was bad.
Yeah. Well, I feel like your dad's love language is The Office more than anything else.
I think The Office at its best was the American Office at its best was way better than the British version got, with the possible exception of the one episode 3 of the original version with the Free Love Freeway and everything is a perfect half hour of television. But at it, like, the BBC version was just more consistent because it was so short.
There's a very funny British sitcom called Vicious that has Ian McKellen and Derek Jacobi as bitter lovers. It's they're like bitter old bitchy gay men that are roommates, and the guy that's the evil one on Game of Thrones, though granted that's a lot of them.
Yeah, that narrows it down.
The hot evil one, not Jodfrey. He plays like their dumb, sexy other roommate who's like young, and it's just a fun, cute time.
There you go. Whatever. I am not caught up at all on new Star Trek stuff.
That's one of those things that we keep on saying we're going to get to at some point.
Yeah, we don't have CBS All Access,
Yeah.
so hold on. What are our dream cars? Ones that work. And we're pretty happy with the Prius right now. If you were to get a celebrity to sign something obscure or outside bad that they've worked on, what would it be? I don't know.
I think I once asked this certain celebrity friend to sign a copy of Melrose Place for me because they did a very brief stint on it, but they would not do it. I would not do that to them, to be completely frank.
I don't have celebrities sign things like for the gimmickry. I usually only get things signed as an excuse to talk to the celebrity.
That's how you got to talk with the podcast boys, right?
Yeah, and that's how so yeah, I guess having the podcast The Ride Boys sign a Funko Pop with a filthy box of Cyborg. But it's like, you know, I would, after every live show, I'd go through the autograph line just so I could talk to Paul F. Tompkins. You know, not necessarily because I needed to collect the autograph or anything.
No, of course.
But sometimes I have a specific thing that I do want to get signed as a conversation piece.
Yeah. Oh, before I forget, Schitt's Creek. I'm starting to finally watch, and that's
Schitt's
very
Creek is
fun
good.
to binge. And Kim's Convenience is slow, but it's on Netflix, and I think it's getting better as I'm getting through it.
I know Lizzie really likes Kim's Convenience,
Yeah.
So it probably gets really good. Did we have any ACMD sequel follow-up ideas? All Critics Must Fry, and it's a cooking competition.
show. Yes.
Oh yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine and The Good Place, of course, are fantastic. Anything Mike Schur's done is worth binging.
Yeah. I actually need to start watching some of Sure stuff because I have very limited knowledge of that.
What defunct theme park which you would love to visit? In terms of entire defunct theme parks, I would have liked to have seen Hard Rock Park.
Yeah.
Just the insanity of it.
Storybook Village in Maryland. Like, I think I went to it once when I was very, very tiny, and I have no memories of it. But it's like really beautiful, and especially there's a great article the Smithsonian wrote about it just being like abandoned. So nature had taken over this theme park basically. So there were like beautiful trees and flowers blossoming out of attractions, and it's like, I wish I could have seen this. This would have been amazing.
Yeah. Best version of Who's Line.
All of them.
Yeah, there's no wrong version of Who's Line. I will say the original British Who's Line cut more stuff out, so like only the really good stuff got left in, so that's an advantage. And occasionally you'd get like a Stephen Fry or a Hugh Laurie doing it, like which was fascinating.
Yeah. I like how when Aisha had the host, it was very good.
Yeah, I haven't seen as much of that run, but I liked what I saw. Yeah, All Access does a free trial. We're just saving it for eventually, you know. Oh, Marvel McVeigh. Yeah, any Vegas attraction. Well, actually, yeah, I guess the Star Trek Experience is the defunct thing I wish I could have visited. Yeah, my idea for the ACMD sequel is being in it.
Hire him. He's funny. Hire him for free. He's funny.
Does Busch Gardens Van Nuys count as a theme park?
Is Busch Gardens a theme park? I think when Dave finishes, just be banned.
Okay. Any favorite Streetmosphere things? Ghost Town Alive.
Yeah, that's fun. I also like the New York couple whenever we go to Universal. Like, that's always fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind being an observer at Action Park.
I believe one of my family members famously broke their leg at Action Park or Attraction Park, as they call it. One of my cousins, I feel like it was like my cousin Sam that may have broken her knee or something like that.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
That seems to be the experience there. I was on board for most of the recent plans for Epcot. I'm hoping they still go through with most of them. I'm sure a lot of them will be scaled back or postponed. But yeah. Busch Gardens is a theme park, but is Busch Gardens Van Nuys a theme park? Oh, I'm not touching anything. I'm not in public. I can cough into my hand. Everyone in this house, we're all just infecting each other anyway.
Yeah, I'm recovering from bronchitis right now, so I'm just kind of patient zero of doom and death in this household.
And I, like I said, am recovering from some sort of cold.
Oh, totally. I would imagine like Jackass would have bought the park outright and just been like, "This is an entire season at Traction Park. We're going to break our faces and everything else."
Yeah, Knott's deserves its 100th.
Yeah.
Knott's deserves its centennial.
Favorite film of the aughts: Josie and the Pussycats, and Legally Blonde.
If we're talking just the decade, just 2000 to 2010. I'm going to be basic and say Lord of the Rings.
I like the fact that you're basic, though.
Maybe haven't been there to the Everything is Terrible store. It might just be, depending on how long it takes to open Knott's up, it might just be like all seasons happen in October.
Yeah.
It's like Boysenberry Fest and Ghost Town Alive and Scary Farm all at once.
It's like, guess what, bitch? It's all happening at once. Grease to the World Showcase.
Yeah, Greece would be a good addition.
Yeah.
I also thought India was a no-brainer as an addition. I think I said that in an earlier in another Q&A.
Yeah, I mean, add some African representation beyond fucking Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, like some real African countries need to be in there.
Backlot Eisner.
Eisner. No, it was our version of Eisner.
Mm-hmm.
It was our old friend Artie.
Artie mentored Chapek. Artie ran so Chapek could fly.
Mm.
No, Artie ran so Chapek. No, Artie ran so Pressler could fly.
I expect they will amalgamate Boys. If they do Boysenberry Fest at all, it will be amalgamated with the Berry Tales opening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm prepared for Berry Tales to not be as good as we want it to be. Because it's mostly screens.
Morocco is in Africa, but it's kind of closer to where Egypt and sort of that interesting intersection of Africa and the Middle East sort of pops through. So when I say Africa, I'm thinking more along like Kenya or Cote d'Ivoire.
And also like there's 500. There's 500 European countries represented in World Showcase. We can have more than just the one African country.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, at least we have Kooky Trails to look forward to.
Kooky Trails.
If Berry Tales 2 Return to the Farm. Return to the Berry. All right, I think we are getting a little tired. So maybe just a few more questions and then we'll wrap things up.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for making fun of 2001 era DCA promotion with me. And please stay safe. Okay. You joke, Ryan. I may at some point do an Armchair Imagineering that's VeggieTales related.
Yeah.
Because I've had my pitches in my youth. I have not done tabletop role playing. I'm like one of the few in the SoCal contingent who does not play D&D.
I would like to play D&D at some point, but we need to wait till we actually can see people again.
I am going to do more Armchair Imagineering. Right now on Patreon, you can watch the rough cut of next month's Armchair Imagineering, which is actually related to the conversation we just had. The Armchair Imagineering is called Let's Get Some Rides in World Showcase already.
It is very good. I highly, highly recommend. Yes, Charlie, we shall move this to a call at some point when you're up to it.
I don't know if I have a call in me tonight because I do need to get some sleep at some point.
Yeah,
But
he's been working hard this one.
well, I also just haven't been sleeping well.
That too.
It's a 1-2 punch. Because Ryan, I had a pitch when I was a kid. I developed a pitch for the Pirates Who Don't Do Anything ride, which would basically be a parody of both Pirates of the Caribbean and Splash Mountain, but with VeggieTales.
There was a time.
I don't think they'll cancel the Mary Poppins stuff at Epcot. They might postpone it.
Yeah. Remember, there was a time when Dave had come to visit me in Maryland, and there is a faith-based Target near where my mom lives. It just because it gives the vibe of a faith-based Target. And Dave, before he could
it was like a general, Christian store that was part grocery store, but also mostly Christian bookstore.
Yeah. So when we came in, he was sort of like, I've been to Minnie's before. I bet you I can tell you the layout without even being in here.
And I was like, okay, before long, we're going to round a corner and see the shelves of VeggieTales stuff. And sure enough,
as you were saying that, boom. I mean, Haley, I'm always up to talking because I had caffeine late, so I'm going to be up forever.
You can take over the stream.
What up, bitches? My time to shine.
I wish I was in that movie too. That movie was being made basically right as I was being added to Geek Vision, so I didn't really know everyone very well yet. What are we saying? Where are we? Did we do anything for Goofy Movie's anniversary? No, but we should revisit Goofy Movie soon.
Yeah. I think that's one of those ones we were gonna try and do. I think I kind of cosplayed as Max all day on the day of, just because that's what my laundry situation turned into.
Was there a VeggieTales kitty coaster somewhere?
I bet you.
I have not.
Maybe the same place where the Mr. Rogers roller coaster ride was.
Yeah. Yeah, I never went to Holy Land Experience when I was there, but that would be an easy fit for VeggieTales stuff, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But except not really, because I just listened to the PTR about it, and it sounds like it was wild garbage. There was a VeggieTales ride in Dollywood, really?
I'm not shocked by this.
That sounds great.
I'm not shocked by this.
That is awesome. I mean, that makes sense. But
I want to go to Dollywood.
We were planning on going to Dollywood for a joint bachelorette party this summer, but that may be off the table.
Yeah.
That was probably after my time in VeggieTales culture, because like the last two VeggieTales ones I actually saw were Lord of the Beans and Minnesota Cuke. And I stand by, Lord of the Beans is just straight up the best Lord of the Rings parody there is.
I'll take his word on it.
Like it puts Harvard Lampoon's Lord of the Rings to shame. What else? We'll do Dollywood eventually. It just might not be before the wedding.
Yeah. We'll do like a post-Mary thing.
I've actually gotten work done on the Bliss California this week.
A lot of it. I'm actually really impressed with him with it.
I have a secret work in progress playlist for rough cuts of episodes, and I've been updating that with additional rough cuts and slightly less rough cuts. Everything is still very rough, but I've been working on it.
Actually, a cute story about you is when we kind of were like, oh, I think we're kind of into each other. One of the things I kind of realized that you were like really into me is that you sent me like that secret playlist, and I would just fall asleep to that constantly because I miss the sound of your voice.
Aww. Well, I mean, there was that one Batman motion simulator in Australia. I don't know how good it was, but for a while it had Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill in it. Yeah, Holy Land only does shows. I've worked with some actors who worked Holy Land.
How many Jesus do you work with?
I only worked with one who was playing Jesus, but I think some of the other actors in that short also played Jesus at Holy Land.
Mm-hmm.
So when I worked with the ministry organization in Orlando, when I worked in the media department, we were doing a short that was a version of The Last Supper. So basically every Jesus who works at Holy Land Experience auditioned. It was wild. Favorite VeggieTales character?
All of them.
It's hard to top Larry. I've always been fond of the Gourds. I've always been fond of Jimmy and Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, Max, on chipping away on your new cartoon.
right.
If I could turn any point-and-click adventure game into a theme park attraction, which one would it be? That may also be an armchair Imagineering in the future.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
It depends on which episode you're talking about, but most likely. Yeah, the actors, some of the actors had things to say about Holy Land Experience and how it was better before Trinity Broadcast bought it.
Mm. Trinity Broadcast, is that the one with the Bakers or Jan Crouch?
That's Jan Crouch.
Okay. She seems a bit evil.
A little bit.
I like Tammy Faye, though. She's a badass.
So, okay. I think I am nearing the end of my stamina for staying awake, but thank you all for joining us. We will do this again soon.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good night, friends.
Yeah.
Stay safe, stay healthy. And I've got some ideas for specific things to do in future streams, but we can also do some just casual ones that don't have anything planned. In the meantime, later days, y'all.
Later days, y'all.